First off, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Try to find one person in your life who thought Tom and Katie made a cute couple. Spoiler alert, you won't. From Cruise's cringe-worthy couch-jumping antics on the Oprah show to Katie's revelation that she'd had a crush on Tom as a little girl when Tom was in his late 20s. There was nothing sweet about this odd, icky pairing. Both fans and Hollywood elite alike were left scratching their heads, wondering what could have drawn them together. There actually were whispers it was a prearranged marriage, complete with signed contracts. And let's not forget about the dark specter looming in the background since day one, Scientology. In their 5 years together, Katie, once a bubbly TV star riding high after a starring role on Dawson's Creek, became quiet and passive alongside her more famous spouse. Years after the high-stakes divorce settlement and custody battle over their daughter Siri, we still don't know the full story of what went on behind closed doors. Next up, we have Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Once a couple 20 years ago, they're now back together and fans are annoyed. Ben is reportedly annoyed with Jennifer currently after her new movie about their love life was recently released on Prime Video. Insiders told The Heat that Affleck was reportedly scared that J-Lo's new film, This Is Me Now, would ruin his career, and apparently that fear has not dissipated. There is a very real risk that this film will not get the reaction she's expecting. Ben's been complaining to friends this could end up being Geely 2.0, they said. It will be especially embarrassing for him considering the career that he's built up and how seriously he takes on his projects. He's scared he's made a big mistake getting involved. This is the second project that they have worked on together, and since Geely was so panned by critics, receiving a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes and losing over $60 million at the box office, it seems as though Affleck has been worried about the same treatment, and it allegedly has been causing problems in their marriage. J-Lo's new 65-minute musical was released on February 16th, 2024 and has received some seriously mixed reviews. While it was dubbed the worst movie of the century by the Wall Street Journal, the reviews are actually a lot more positive on Rotten Tomatoes with a 74% reviewer tomato meter. Next up, we have Kylie and Timothée Chalamet. The pair seems like a happy couple going viral in January for their Golden Globes appearance, but rumors have been swirling that Timothée and Kylie have been suffering relationship issues. Timothée posted alongside Zendaya at the Dune 2 red carpet in South Korea earlier this week. He donned a gray jumpsuit and pouted at the cameras. Zendaya matched the actor and donned a pink jumpsuit. Fans noticed that Timothée seemed to look somber while posing, and fans flocked to Reddit to discuss their thoughts. Somebody schedule a wellness check for Chalamet, one user says. Another saying, can we stop giving these people more attention? They are a bunch of talentless, greedy culture vultures who are helping destroy our planet. And before anybody comes for me, I'm not a Timothée fan either. He is an overhyped mayo man, in my opinion. Next up, we have Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. Just because we learned that Ariana is dating her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater a mere 3 days after news broke that Grande was splitting from her husband Dalton Gomez, doesn't mean the timeline was equally as rushed in real life, right? Well, according to sources, it appears Grande was still working on her relationship with Gomez when she flew to the UK to film the musical movie Wicked in December 2022, though a source told Us Weekly that the couple were having issues and the distance did not help. Meanwhile, Grande's alleged new boyfriend, who is known for playing SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway and will also be playing the Munchkin Bach in Wicked, was also in a committed relationship when the filming began. In fact, Ethan Slater had been married to his high school sweetheart Lily J since 2018 and welcomed his first child with her sometime in 2022. Rumors that Ariana and Ethan had been cheating on their partners began circling, and fans are not having it. One Reddit user wrote, quote, "She is a 30-year-old grown woman. Zero excuses for being a homewrecker. That man had a newborn baby. Selfish beyond measure." Adding, "A newborn and wife whom Ariana hung out with on multiple couples outings. The wife considered Ariana a friend." Another user wrote a detailed thread on the situation saying, quote, "For the past couple years, she'll do anything to preserve her happiness at any cost, even when it's messed up. It was inevitable that she was going to get divorced before she got married, and she has a long pattern of not being able to be single and going from one guy to the next. The one time she was single, she threw herself into work, and as soon as her tour was over, she was with somebody else. The Ethan Slater thing is messed up and inexcusable because of the fact he has a child. I genuinely believe that the biggest root of all of it, not even her unresolved trauma, is the fact that all the people in her life, whether it's her team of 10 plus years, her stage mom, or her half-brother, they all rely on her and are thus always supportive yes men." Our next hated Hollywood couple is Justin and Hailey Bieber. Fans want Selena back. Even Hailey wants Selena, it seems. In a string of tweets from a decade ago, Hailey expressed her happiness for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez's relationship, and now, reading those tweets back, it's a bit awkward. Some of Hailey's tweets include, "Selena Gomez is so cute, don't argue, bye." And "I'm for sure 100% team #Jelena." Another of her tweets read, "Seriously though, she's beyond flawless and he's Bieber. They are the perfect relationship. I am forever alone." Next we have Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. While they have been friends for years, it wasn't until July 2019 when Shawn and Camila announced they were officially dating. The couple had already collaborated on several hit songs together, including their smash hit Senorita, and it seemed as if working on music so frequently is what eventually led them to form a relationship. But since going public with their romance, fans have not been convinced their pairing is genuine, with many speculating whether the whole thing was just one big PR stunt to further promote their careers. Given that they've had a lot of success with their collaborations, pairing up and telling the world a relationship came out of their frequent studio sessions isn't that hard to believe, but fans have plenty of reasons to believe this romance is nothing but smoke and mirrors. Once their second single, Senorita, was released in June 2019, both singers appeared very affectionate towards each other, both on stage and behind the scenes. The following weeks, Camila and Shawn were seen everywhere, sharing plenty of date nights as their song continued to climb up the charts, eventually reaching the top spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and selling well over 4 million units in the US alone. By July, the pair went public with their romance, but it was not long before people started speculating whether their supposed love for one another was a PR stunt to help push sales. Fans on social media were quick to voice their opinions about the news of Camila and Shawn dating, with one person saying, "Which was the worst attempt at a fake relationship PR stunt to promote a collab? Zed dating Selena Gomez or Shawn dating Camila?" Another writing, "Are you guys done promoting Senorita yet?" Next up, we have Jessie James and Sandra Bullock. Sandra was already one of the world's highest paid actresses. In 2013, she got paid $70 million for the movie Gravity. So I'm sure ex Jessie James wanted in on those riches. Jessie and Sandra's almost 5-year marriage went down in absolute flames when the world found out he had cheated on her with not one, not two, but over 3 women. And as of 2017, it sounds like he still does not think it's such a big deal. In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life, he told the Daily Mail. Okay, we have a feeling Sandra would disagree. Next up, we have Miley Cyrus and Luke Hemsworth. Fans think they initially got together to promote their new movie. Cyrus and Hemsworth met in 2009 on the set of The Last Song, the movie adaptation of the popular Nicholas Sparks novel. Shortly after filming wrapped, the two confirmed their romance when they had a PDA-filled goodbye at the airport. Actor Alex Emanuel, who watched their full-on makeout, said the ultra-romantic exchange was like a scene out of an old movie where the guy is getting on a train and they're saying their goodbyes. After an on and off relationship for 10 years in the actors getting married, they finally split up in 2019. Miley Cyrus's rep exclusively confirmed to People that the couple had split. Quote, Liam and Miley have agreed to separate at this time, the rep said. 3 days later, Hemsworth addressed the separation in an Instagram post, writing, just a quick note to say that Miley and I have recently separated. I wish her nothing but health and happiness going forward. Next up, we have Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. The pair is still seen together co-parenting on The Kardashians, their show, but fans think Khloe needs to be stricter with him after he was caught cheating on her not once but 2 separate times. Lastly, we have Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton's relationship began with the actor cheating on his girlfriend, Laura Dern. From there, the couple proceeded to wear each other's blood in vials around their necks and show off major PDA on the red carpet, all of which turned fans off. First, we have Chris Brown and Rihanna. Chris Brown and Rihanna were once Hollywood royalty at the height of their romance. The two first met as teenagers in 2005 while starting off in the music industry, and it was from that initial meeting that they continued to cross paths. Fast forward to 2008, and it was revealed that the two were officially dating, according to Hollywood Life. Everything seemed to be going well until that fateful night in 2009 when it was reported that Brown had physically hurt Rihanna. Chris Brown was arrested and eventually charged with felony battery. When the pair went to court in mid-2009, Chris pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 5 years of probation as well as community service and domestic counseling. Rihanna even filed a restraining order against the singer, which further shocked fans when the two tried rekindling their relationship years later. Next up, let's talk about Selena and Justin. Before Justin Bieber married Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber, and settled into his role as husband, the baby singer was linked to Selena Gomez for quite some years. Gomez and Bieber first went public with their relationship in 2011 after making an appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Since the relationship was super public, the two had a rather hard time keeping things just between them. There were many accusations of cheating and many times the two constantly hurting each other, according to LA Times. In an interview with Zane Lowe in February 2020, Bieber admitted to being reckless while dating Selena. I think I was just hurt from my previous relationship, Bieber explained. I think I still was dealing with a lot of unforgiveness and all that sort of stuff. To be honest, I don't even think I knew what I was struggling with at the time. In my previous relationship, he says, I went off and I just went crazy and wild, just being reckless, he added, speaking about his time dating Selena. Next up, we have Madonna and Sean Penn. Madonna and Penn's romance first started in 1985 after meeting on the set for the music video Material Girl. Both of them had just gotten out of relationships and first started off as friends. However, their platonic relationship quickly bloomed into a romantic one, and by August 1985, the two tied the knot on Madonna's 27th birthday. The relationship started off good, but eventually things started to get rocky due to Penn's unpredictable outbursts and temper. The actor had a major jealous streak and would often fly off the hinges when he saw other men getting close to Madonna. Eventually, Madonna filed for divorce in December 1987, later withdrawing the papers before filing again in January 1989. It's been rumored that the singer suffered years of mistreatment from Penn, which was believed to be the reason for their split. According to the Daily Beast, Madonna shut down those rumors in 2017, insisting the actor never laid a finger on her during their marriage. I am aware of these allegations that have surfaced over the years, accusing Shawn of incidents of physical violence against me, she says. Specifically, I am aware of the allegations concerning an alleged incident that occurred in June 1987, whereby, according to tabloids, Shawn struck me with a baseball bat. I know the allegations in those and other reports to be outrageous, malicious, reckless, and false. Next up, we have John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy is known to be quite the handful, and fans believe John needs to get out of the marriage. John Legend has revealed that he once did try to break up with Chrissy Teigen years before they were even married, and her hilarious reaction. "I was really stressed and busy," John told The Guardian. "I was just like, I'd be happier single right now." And she was like, no. As she's known to do, Chrissy then took to Twitter after the story went viral to share a little bit more about the long ago incident. 11 years later, baby, she tweeted. "It wasn't a typical breakup," she continued. "He was on tour, his voice hurt, and he was being a whiny face about everything, and so yeah, I was like, no." Chrissy also revealed she was always jealous earlier on in their relationship. Appearing on Andy Cohen's radio show, the mom of four recalled she was so jealous and quote, so unhinged when she and John were first together, admitting that she'd start arguments after his concerts, going to his shows when I was younger, like when we'd first met, and he would pull up a girl for the slow dance and we would fight about this at the end of the night, she says. Next up, we have Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian. Kardashian and Disick first met in 2006 at a party thrown by Girls Gone Wild creator Joe Francis in Mexico. Apparently, Kardashian wasn't really into Scott at first, saying, quote, "I just thought he was so annoying," she explained during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. "He was 4 years younger than me, he lived in New York, he didn't have a job." The couple's early stages of their relationship were captured during the earlier seasons of the reality show, and they seem to be going strong. However, Disick's substance use, heavy partying, and drinking seemed to draw issues in his relationship with Kourtney. The couple broke up in 2015 after Scott is photographed with Los Angeles stylist Khloe Bartoli. However, the two eventually get back together in December 2016, with a source telling E! News that, quote, "They are getting back together and giving their relationship a try again. Scott has mellowed out a lot and has not been partying." By February 2017, Disick and Kardashian have broken up again after Disick is caught cozying up with two models in Miami. Next up, we have another Kardashian couple, the more famous one, of course, Kim and Kanye. Fans of the pair will know that over the course of their almost 7-year-long marriage, during which they had 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Som, Kim and Kanye, aka Kimye, established a strong legacy as one of the world's biggest and most appealing celebrity couples ever. But their marriage was simultaneously one filled with arguments and moments of turbulence, many of which were documented across Keeping Up with the Kardashians. After their divorce in 2021, Kanye has done some tabloid-worthy things surrounding their past relationship. After the gold digger artist made headlines for wearing a very controversial shirt during his Yeezy presentation at Paris Fashion Week, Kanye took to Instagram to question the backlash against him and to double down on his previous claims that the Kardashian family kept him from attending Chicago's birthday party that January. "So why did everybody feel so free to attack me about my t-shirt," he says. "But Candace Owens was the only public figure to say that it was wrong for the Kardashians to keep me from seeing my daughter," West wrote via social media, referring to his previous claims that in January when he alleged the Kardashians would not allow him to attend Chicago's birthday party. "Or we just chime in when we want to tear a black man down for actually having a political opinion," he continues, "and for all the audience to be so outraged about my t-shirt, where was you when I couldn't see my kids? I went public in hope of public support at the time," he says. Kardashians, for their part, have repeatedly denied Kanye's claims about Chicago's birthday after Khloe commented on Kanye's post begging him to, quote, "Please stop tearing Kimberly down," adding she and her family have had enough of the false birthday narrative. Kanye hit back to her with an all-caps response, quote, "You are lying and are liars, y'all basically kidnapped Chicago on her birthday so she could remember her father not being there." Next up, we have Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Started off their relationship by being co-workers, but it quickly evolved into something more romantic. Fox and Kelly, whose real name is Colson Baker, met on the set of Midnight in the Switchgrass in March 2020. The couple raised eyebrows in February 2021 when the rapper revealed he wears a necklace with Megan's blood in it around his neck. 3 months later, Kelly explained why that gift means so much to him while appearing on the The Ellen Show. Quote, well, she was actually going out of town to film a movie. This was really new in our relationship, he explains. I didn't have a passport, so she was going out to Bulgaria, and I was kind of freaking out, like, you're gonna leave and I can't even come see you? As a result, Megan gave him the pendant, which he carries with him when he isn't wearing it around his neck. Some people give like a handkerchief to their partner. She gave me her DNA, he added. In 2023, Megan sparked split speculation when she scrubbed Kylie from her Instagram and posted a series of pictures. A video of letters burning with a caption from Beyonce's infamous Lemonade album. The post came the same weekend the twosome attended several Super Bowl events, but according to a source, the actress ditched their plans after a quote, huge fight. She also deactivated her social media profile. She was supposed to go to his performance at the Sports Illustrated party, but they had a fight and she canceled plans and flew out Saturday evening, the insider told us. Oh, us. Despite the drama, a source told Us Weekly that Fox and Kelly were still together. They both have a very intense relationship and they are very passionate people. That combination can sometimes explode and they love hard but also fight hard, the insider explains. It is really a communication issue that they need to work through, and that is why they are going to counseling. The source continued, Machine Gun Kelly feels conflicted about partying like a rock star and enjoying this exciting time in his life instead of settling down. Megan has passed this partying phase of life, and that's why they're at different stages. That is the real reason why they're struggling at the moment.
Everyone loves seeing their favorite Hollywood couples and how happy they are, but we don't need to see everything. Listen, I love Selena Gomez. I have been to every tour she has done, stayed up for album releases, dedicated Selena fan right here. But, and it pains me to admit, her and Benny Blanco can be pretty PDA heavy. I love that they are in love and I am happy for her, but sometimes things get taken a little far. The most recent example, or big example I guess you could say, was the photo posted to Selena's personal Instagram account February 12th. The picture is of her and music producer boyfriend Benny Blanco in an embrace. That's not the big PDA thing though, that would be his hand sitting directly on her chest while he kisses her shoulder. It's an intimate looking photo, that's for sure, and many fans are in agreement that the couple is super cute. It's just we don't need to see that half of their relationship all the time. One even commented that the actions in the photo were an ick. So I suppose the easy fix here for me is just not look at it and turn off my phone. The other photos, they were more chill. The opening image was a cute one of the pair cooking in the kitchen together. They both looked super cozy and cuddly with sunlight streaming in through the window. Then it was the cringe picture. Following that one was a photo of Selena leaning on Benny's lap, sticking her tongue out at the camera while Blanco was looking at his phone and appeared to be speaking. It's a cute moment. You can see his hand resting on her back in this one. The finale of the 4-part carousel post was a photo from the gathering of friends that featured Selena and Benny hugging in the back bottom left corner. It looked like Benny is giving a little kiss to Selena's cheek. The post was captioned, "My best friend." Currently, comments are limited on Selena's Instagram accounts. You can only see comments from a select few, like brands and other celebrities. The hands on the chest pose seems to be a favorite of the couples and a least favorite for fans. They did it again almost a month later in early March for a birthday celebration for Blanco. A photo was posted. A photo was snapped of the couple with him hugging Gomez from behind again with his hand grabbing her chest. He was kissing her cheek and Selena seemed perfectly content, smiling big for the camera. The night was documented on Selena's Instagram story and featured her friends Nicola Peltz and Brooklyn Beckham. Before we move on from this point, I have to note that Selena wore an incredible red jacket this night. This is not important to anything, I just think the coat deserves a moment. The outfit is beautiful. Selena dedicated a March 8th post to Benny Blanco's birthday. The carousel of 10 images featured multiple snapshots of the couple together. The 9th was a more PG version of the photo posted February 12th. The other photos featured were generally pretty average, lots of cuddly kisses on cheeks and giggles. The middle of the pack, the 5th photo, the one that caught some eyebrows to raise and some pearls to be clutched. It was 2 images that looked like they were taken in a photo booth. The top was a sweet hug around the neck and kiss on the cheek. The bottom one featured the couple giving each other a high five with their tongues. They stuck them out to each other instead of the camera this time. We have no idea where exactly this photo was taken, so it might not have been PDA when it was taken, but posting it to Gomez's 429 million Instagram followers definitely makes it PDA now. The series of images were accompanied by a sweet caption that read, "Happy birthday, baby. Your emotional endurance, positive disposition, unbelievable talent that blows me away, undeniable humor, and loving, kind heart absolutely kill me. I love you," closing off the post with a little birthday cake emoji. Selena Gomez attended the Golden Globes this year and walked the red carpet in a stunning red dress. She walked the carpet without Benny, but did meet up with him after the event if the photos the actress and singer shared are anything to go off of. Some needed context from the evening is that Selena Gomez was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Actress in a Musical or Comedy TV Series for her role as Mabel Mora in the hit show Only Murders in the Building. She did not win the award, but did post a photo later with the caption, "I won." She was, of course, not referring to the award, but instead her relationship with Blanco. The photo was of the couple kissing. It looked like Selena was sitting in his lap. She is still wearing her red dress, but has now added a black blazer, unclear who it belongs to. Reactions to the image were mixed. Some people really hated it. As the photo made its rounds on social media, fans were weighing in from all fronts. One writing, "So cringe sharing these types of images just to show off." Another, "She deserves all the happiness in the world." And then someone else writing, "Why is she posting like a 14-year-old with her first boyfriend? She is so cringe." It was a mixed bag of reactions, that's for sure. More photos of this backstage encounter were shared January 8th after the award show. They were tucked into Gomez's post about her night in general. Next to photos of Gomez on the carpet and hugging friends were two additional pictures of her and Benny. The first of the pair was very rated G, nothing happening here, just a loving look and hug. It was the second of the two that got a little wild. The last photo in the Instagram carousel featured him hugging Gomez from behind while kissing her neck. Gomez was smiling and stuck her tongue out playfully at the camera. Listen, we should have known that this couple would be obsessed with each other and obsessed with PDA. There were signs. In March of 2019, Selena and Benny collaborated on the song I Can't Get Enough. In the music video for it, Benny is seen wearing a white fuzzy teddy bear suit with Gomez next to him in some pink PJs. The pair are standing on top of a massive bed. At this point, there is absolutely nothing romantic between the two, nothing the public knows about anyway. In November of 2019, Gomez posted a photo on her Instagram of the pair laying on the music video's bed with the caption, "I miss when Benny Blanco was a bear." Gomez is snuggled into the side of his teddy bear suit and Blanco has an arm around her. Even though the pair were not a couple at the time, this moment is definitely giving invisible string. Sticking with the cuddly theme, on February 2nd, Gomez posted a photo to her Instagram story of her cuddled up in bed with the caption, "Mornings with you." While no one knows for sure who took that picture, everyone thinks it was Benny. Who else would it be, honestly? I think what makes people cringe is that it's such an intimate moment and it looks like Gomez might not be wearing clothes, and fans wonder why we're reviewing such an intimate moment. Selena Gomez is cuddled up in a white blanket and you can only see her shoulder, so she could absolutely just be wearing a tank top. The photo does remind me of the one from the set of that 2019 music video, still cuddled up to something white and fuzzy next to Benny. Invisible string. Selena announced on her Instagram story that she was dating Benny on December 7th, 2023. She began replying to questions about the pair's relationship, dropping the fact that the pair had actually already been dating for 6 months already. Shortly after this, on December 13th, Selena shared her first PDA image of the couple. It was just cuddling, calm down, nothing to write home about, just a sweet picture. It was the next photo posted as part of her favorite New York Moments post from December 15th that was the first, I guess, warning that the couple was going to be hands-on and PDA heavy. The final picture of the group was a black and white photo of the pair kissing. Selena looked like she was laying down and had her hand in Blanco's hair. The scandal of it all. Other photos in the carousel featured dinner with Benny and some friends, birthdays, and coffee dates. Selena Gomez began her career on the Disney Channel. That's where I first became a fan. Wizards of Waverly Place was my show, Naturally was my song. This is relevant because the former Disney star and future Disney star and her beau took a trip to Disneyland together and were spotted in some fun, funky outfits. Selena in a fluffy zebra hat and Blanco in an orange and yellow extra large hoodie. The couple were again in their own world, cuddled up while waiting to hop on roller coasters and walk around the park. This one made some fans cringe because Selena appeared to be taller than Blanco in the videos taken of the pair. God forbid the woman is taller. The couple had been Instagram official for about a month and dating for 6 before that, before making their first official public appearance as a couple. They sat courtside at a LA Lakers game on January 3rd and could not keep their hands to themselves. There's lots of cuddling and hands on thighs despite all the cameras on the couple. Very tame for the couple and not as cringy as some of the previous things on this list. Well, when fans were critical of Selena's relationship with Blanco, the singer was quick to respond, 2021. Replying to a fan's comment that Blanco cursed Selena and that this was corny, Selena wrote, "He is my absolute everything in my heart. He has been the best thing that ever happened to me. The end. He's still better than anyone I've been with. Facts." The couple's overall PDA relationship makes some fans cringe, not because of the actions themselves, but instead because of comments Benny has made in the past. Selena's ex, Justin Bieber, and Benny collaborated on the song Lonely in 2020. While promoting the song on the Zach Sang show, Blanco praised Justin, saying, "Justin is not one of those like cookie cutter pop artists. You know, they're like, this is my new single and here's my makeup line." Selena famously has a successful makeup line. Many fans didn't appreciate this comment then and brought it up when Selena posted the couple for the first time now.
So earlier this week, on March 20th to be specific, Megan Fox made an appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which in recent history has really been a hotbed for celebrity confessions. The one thing Megan was very clear about while on said podcast was that her romance with MGK will no longer play out in the public eye. And then she attempted to play the no comment card in a very cryptic way. If you're asking me, I think that the comment suggests they're no longer engaged. For anybody scratching their heads over the starlet's vague relationship update, she confessed that she can see how it's confusing for the public to understand, otherwise known as, "Go girl, give us nothing." Okay, how about this for proof? They apparently went through this massive fight and rough patch just last December. To be specific, on December 5th and 6th, both People and US Weekly ran reports from sources revealing that things weren't going too well. A source close to the couple told People that they had yet another big fight. It's always the same thing, they have severe trust issues in the relationship. It's been rough, but they're still trying to work through it. Whereas US Weekly kinda had some similar comments. Megan and Coulson have had a very up and down relationship. They're great one day and then fighting with each other the next. They love each other and have passion in droves, but that passion goes both ways. Apparently, they're still trying to work through their issues and work on how they communicate, but both of them have such fiery personalities that it's been a struggle. Well, that doesn't sound very optimistic. It sounds like they've needed third-party help a lot, according to my research. And while I'm not about to shame anybody for getting much-needed therapy, I'm right up there too, it ponders the question of just how solid a monogamous relationship can be if they constantly require someone to help them put out fires. A source spoke to Entertainment Tonight on February 11th about how these two are managing the relationship, saying, "Megan and MGK have their ups and downs, as most couples do. They love so hard that sometimes things can be intense, but ultimately they do their best to hear one another and better themselves. They both want a happy, loving, supportive, and honest relationship. They sought third-party help in order to help repair things. Therapy and open communication play pivotal roles in the relationship dynamics, with the couple prioritizing constructive dialogue and personal growth. Seeking guidance from a trusted third party allows them to navigate challenges and strengthen their bond, fostering an environment where mutual understanding thrives. They like to share their thoughts and feelings in a controlled environment with a trusted third party to ensure everyone is heard. It's also a good way for them to develop plans to ensure a healthy future as individuals and as a couple." Which sounds all fine and dandy on paper, but I have a feeling this is a sign things are over. Once again, that's a lot of support you need from somebody that isn't your partner. Here's a curious question. So why didn't they go to any Grammy parties this year? The rapper wasn't nominated for an award this year because his last studio album, Mainstream Sellout, was released in 2022. He did receive a nomination for Best Rock Album at the 2023 Grammys, but lost to Ozzy Osbourne. Which, it's Ozzy. Even though the album did receive quite a few accolades, MGK did express some frustration with how his music was being received, especially the accusations that he had stepped away from rap. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in November of 2022, he stated, "I'm talented as F, and I added on to my catalog of 4 great rap albums. So what I did was I added on, never departed, left, or switched." But here's the thing, so yes, he wasn't nominated this year, but not being nominated is no excuse to not go to any of the after parties. I saw Keke Palmer looking absolutely fabulous at one of them, and she's never been nominated for a single Grammy. Come on, folks. In the same vein, if you will, and if you got that reference, gold star for you, the duo hasn't really been spotted together a lot this year. According to the timeline that Elle magazine so graciously put together, Kelly and Fox spent New Year's Eve together, since the pair was photographed in Aspen, Colorado, all bundled up for the cold weather on New Year's Eve, and it was a frosty one this year. But no other public appearances in January. Zilch, zip, nada. On February 12th, they had their first big night out of the year, attending a Super Bowl after party together. They were photographed partying with Taylor Swift and her lovely beau, which is a very smart PR move if you ask me. Fast forward a month later, March 4th, they touched down in Mexico for a romantic getaway. They stayed at an exclusive tropical resort, photographed by paparazzi upon their arrival, but that's it. That's all we got for a couple of months. It's a little slim pickings for the couple that is so apparently in love, so I'm calling breakup. Back I go to a point that I made earlier, they've been off and on, which is not a good track record for couples. Megan's had a bit of a history with this, and she and her now ex-husband were also on again, off again. And well, I did say ex-husband, didn't I? The only thing we know for sure was when the engagement got called off last year, and then they got back together. But I got a feeling they're on the rocks again. Pardon me, I'm gonna be a little redundant for a second and elaborate on last year's breakup. Rumors about a possible split between the pop punk star and the actress kinda swirled around for a little while after Megan posted a cryptic message to her Instagram on February 12th, quoting lyrics from Beyonce's 2016 Lemonade song, "Pray You Catch Me." Hours after that post, she deactivated her Instagram altogether. What was the caption? "You can taste the dishonesty, it's all over your breath." To further ignite the split rumors, she deleted all photos and videos with MGK on Insta. And then all but confirms this year that the engagement is off? Girl, I'm sorry to say it, but things are not looking good. Okay, I'll change gears for a moment and focus more on MGK instead of Megan, because I'm a big believer that in any situation, the truth is always somewhere in the gray area between story A and story B. The singer-songwriter dropped the new song Don't Let Me Go and its accompanying music video on Wednesday, February 21st. So, about a month ago. The track features very, very heartfelt confessions, from MGK's life-ending thoughts to his lover's heartbreaking. The video is currently racking up a lot of views on YouTube. I think it's had over 700,000 people watching him re-embrace his rapping skills, which, heck yes. The 33-year-old speaks of a challenging period in his life, with the opening lyrics addressing his mental health. "Lately my thoughts eating me alive. Laid in the bed thinking maybe the hate will finally go away if I'm not alive." And he does some things in the video that I can't talk about, but they were suggestive. I'm not going to talk too much about the It's absolutely awful, but it's definitely something that could take a toll on a relationship. I'm just saying. Remind me again how long they've been technically engaged? Or committed to each other? Right, a year. Now, I know in terms of celebrity engagements, that's pretty par for the course, but why haven't they set a wedding date yet? If these two are truly twin souls, and that's a direct quote from Megan there, we heard that on the podcast earlier this week, then why haven't they rushed into the commitment of marrying each other already? I feel like there's something else we don't know about this duo. Might it be, pardon me here, a PR relationship? Or a situationship that they felt pressured into making it look like there's more? You know my take by now, dear viewers. This relationship is dead in the water. It's a little out there in terms of theories, but I feel like MGK's crazy tattoo might be a sign. So back in February, he dropped this new look on Instagram, and in pictures you could see that the black ink saturates virtually half of his upper body, with some of his original inkings peeking through strategically placed paneled gaps down his arms and in between a cross symbol across his chest. That kind of ink takes a lot of time to do, and what a crazy thing to do in my opinion. This man had so many tattoos on his upper body before that he looks like a cross between a sticker book and an Etch-a-Sketch. To darken all of that out and cover it up? I have questions. His decision to undergo this transformation was apparently a deeply personal one. According to his tattoo artist, apparently he had a spiritual consultation. We were told he explained to his artist that all of his tats were too chaotic for him now and he was seeking change and order in his life.
Ariana Grande has no tears left to cry about negative rumors surrounding her relationship with Ethan Slater. But is that because the SpongeBob bang and pop princess has left him high and dry? I mean, with Ariana, it's more of a question of when, not if, that she'll leave Ethan. Listen, hater or lover, she's a serial dater who has a preference for men who are in relationships when she meets them. There is something programmed into that girl, like there is in many traumatized women, where she needs to feel the superiority of taking someone's significant other from them, of feeling like an alpha woman, better than that girl, you know? It's sad, and she clearly has some things she needs to work on within herself to get past this and find happiness with partners that aren't chosen just for the love of the game. That's why Ariana gets bored and moves on quickly, cheating more often than not as well. It's kind of become her shtick, but it wasn't until the not conventionally handsome Ethan Slater was her choice that people actually cared. When it was Big Shawn, Mac Miller, Pete Davidson that she was home wrecking, they're good looking. Since 2014, Ariana has been pervasively pursuing married or tied down men to take as her new boo. And that's why the public has now branded her a homewrecker. Someone who has physical relations with someone who is in a relationship and they do it knowing about the person's spouse. Ariana knew, stop trying to defend her, you know, even if you love her, we should genuinely bring back shame a little, guys. Especially given that Ariana knew the spouse of her recent boyfriend, Ethan Slater, so well, they were friends of their own accord. She even held their newborn baby. And then a couple days after that newborn baby is, popped out, Ethan drops divorce papers on his nursing wife's lap and left her to be with Ariana, who has since served her husband, Dalton Gomez, papers 3 days prior to them first being seen as a couple. And a particularly repulsive looking one at that, no offense. This isn't Ariana's first home-wrecking rodeo. In 2013, she and Mac Miller had an affair while he was still with his long-term partner, Nomi Leisure. Nomi left Mac because of it, who fights hard to get her back, much to Ariana's fury. So, she goes and bangs Big Shawn in the meantime, breaking up his engagement with Naya Rivera. After doing so, in 2016, she returns to having an affair with Mac Miller, which then ends him and Nomi Leisure for actual good. When she's done using Mac, or more accurately, he becomes too hard to date, in 2018, she dumps him and is seen with Pete Davidson the same week, because as Ariana once admitted, she wanted to make Mac jealous, even though she cheated on him with Pete, who in the meanwhile had just cheated on his long-term partner with Ariana, Cassie David, and dumped her over text the day before he was seen with Ariana. And then after Pete, well, she meets Dalton. She stays with him for a few years and naturally cheats on him with a married man. Because despite what Ethan Slater and Ariana's PR teams are pushing about them both being single when they got together, the couple was having a sloppily public and obvious affair on the set of Wicked, being witnessed holding hands, even kissing before either party was separated, let alone divorced from their partner. Then Ariana goes and releases that single and the subsequent album about breaking up a family, wherein she acts like she's the victim, talks about healing herself and finding new love. Gotta say, if Ariana has anything, it's balls and audacity. But this is just part of her unfortunate insecurity pattern, which is another dooming red flag for the couple outside of Ethan's own issues as well, which we'll get to. One of the keys is Ariana likes a man who has recently split from his partner or still with her because they're more likely to offer commitment. To quote, Ariana might be looking to get into a long-term relationship and has fallen into the pattern of dating men who have just come out of relationships because she knows that they will be more likely to commit, as they'll be looking to fill the void of their ex-girlfriends, Noble explained. When people come out of relationships, they're a lot more vulnerable. They often want someone to take the place of their ex and will be more likely to jump into a relationship without hesitation. Starting a new relationship in order to numb the pain and loneliness from a breakup is a common alternative people choose instead of taking the time to heal and figure out what's best for them, Noble concludes. London-based Hailey also offered some insights into why Ariana may gravitate towards men who have possibly not given themselves enough time to get over their exes, stating that firstly, even when people seem to have it all, that doesn't always equate to good self-esteem, she said, and that while outsiders may view the songstress as a woman who can have any partner she chooses, Ariana herself may not hold herself to high enough standards for the men that she dates. She also explained that just like many other people, Ariana could be prone to rushing into a relationship as soon as someone expresses any interest, rather than having the self-esteem to step back and really look at what they offer as a partner, and if they truly even like that person at all. Given the speed of which she and Ethan have progressed, this isn't too outlandish of a theory. People can rush into relationships when, deep down, they feel insecure about being alone. They can become addicted to the exciting first stages of romance and simply overlook any red flags in their new partner, Quinn explains, to finally be able to be together rather than a warning sign about their untrustworthiness. Ultimately, all long-term relationships have confront periods of mundanity, which is usually the point in which Ariana loses interest again. She gets bored, she pursues another affair. To quote Quinn, you build a relationship based on mutual values, shared relationship goals, and respect for one another. If you rely on needing excitement or uncertainty to feel romantically connected to someone, your relationships will be short-lived. In reality, chasing the high of excitement with a new love interest is actually a fantastic way to stop you from being really emotionally intimate and connected with someone. Now, on the flip side of insecurity and deep psychological meaning behind Ariana Grande, even if she doesn't necessarily do the traditional Ariana cheat and leave after getting bored with Ethan, she built a relationship off of mutual cheating with him, which doesn't indicate a healthy healthy foundation on Ethan's end either. But at least with Ariana, we understand the source: insecurity, issues. With Ethan, well, for those who don't know, Grande and Slater met on the set of the upcoming Wicked, and Grande began a close friendship with Slater and his estranged wife, Lily J. She frequently liked their social media posts, she was seen hanging out with the family of 3, with Lily J only learning about Slater's romance with Grande a few days before the news broke to the world. That's also when she found out she'd been cheated on during the first months of her son's life. Ethan Slater's estranged wife shared her only public comments in the wake of their separation, and they were simply that Grande is the story really, she called her not a girl's girl, and Jay then added, "My family is just collateral damage. The story is her and Dalton." And that's true. When partners leave, it's not because they were stolen. No one can steal anyone from you. They can make themselves available and make it known that they are. That's why Ariana isn't a girl's girl. She knew the man was married and put out for him anyways when he wanted it back. But Ethan was the one who hurt his family. He's the one that walked out. That's why it's actually important to look to him on how the relationship can be affected by anyone's actions within it. Ariana's cheated and home-wrecked and done a lot of things, but she's never had a kid with anyone, let alone walk out on that person and that kid in the very first months of that child's life and shortly after their 10-year marriage anniversary. Even she has a line. That takes a different kind of mentality than the understandable insecurity of a former Disney child star. That takes cruelty. It takes complete ego. You genuinely have to only care about what you want and what your little man wants. We have plenty of examples from 2023 alone outside of Ethan Slater. We got Jeremy Allen White, Barry Keoghan, and John Mulaney. So talk about yikes. But if you're wondering why you haven't heard about those male celebrities doing that to their wives, the way that Ethan Slater's name is everywhere for doing that, as you can see, there's been no end to messy speculation for this pair. Headlines reading, Ariana Grande apparently took Dalton Gomez on several double dates with Ethan Slater and Lily J before she and Ethan started dating. That's damning. How about another one? Page 6 articles with fellow Wicked cast members stating such things as, and I quote, "They were sloppy on set," and quote, "They were seen being all over each other while he was still supposedly happily married to Lily." Bad press can be a hell of a relationship killer. Look at Taylor Swift and Matt Healy, who were forced to split because Taylor's PR team literally couldn't risk the amount of boycott that the pop singer was receiving from fans over Healy's racial comments and anti-Jewish sentiments. Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez are barely surviving so far, and it's only because you catch Selena online almost every day trying to beat people off with the negativity stick for commentary. Once bad press starts, it's hard to stop. And this couple has been enshrouded since day one. They aren't so Hollywood elite that it's the type that'll just vanish overnight either, and this will continue to haunt this pair. It will always be in articles about them. It's gonna be brought up in every interview, even when it's not relevant anymore. This is the type of Hollywood affair that once it's publicized and highly condemned, people aren't satisfied until the pair is split and will remind them of their misgivings until it happens, even if it's 10 years down the line. Honestly, that's not a great sign for a long-lasting couple. And neither's our last segment. This couple is rushing like crazy, and their friends know it, their family know it, even they know it. Ethan Slater's homies even have an exclusive article interview wherein they're quoted to be worried that Ariana Grande will break his heart. Honestly, if she does, he does deserve it, same vice versa. Neither of them are good people, and their love for one another has had a lot of collateral heartbreaks for others. You reap what you sow. But anyways, the co-stars are very much in love, a source exclusively reveals in a new issue of Us Weekly, but the relationship has Slater's friends feeling skeptical. To quote, "They're worried she'll break his heart," as stated. Meanwhile, on the other end, source told National Enquirer, quote, "Ariana falls hard and fast. That's who she is, but that doesn't stop her friends from worrying." To quote, "Everyone is telling her to slow down before she makes another mistake, but she is that girl who can never stay single for long," they added. The singer, however, reportedly even put serious restrictions on her BFFs. She doesn't want anyone talking to the media about her and Slater in any capacity. To quote, "Ariana has asked all her friends not to talk about it, at least not until both of them are officially divorced," the source concluded. And that's because while Ariana is amicably settled or divorced from Dalton Gomez, Slater is still dealing with the delicate details, including the custody of his now one-year-old son with ex-wife Lily. Custody is difficult, especially because Slater bailed in the first few months of his child's life. Everything is riding in Lily J's favor, especially given that Ethan's actions can be used against him in custody hearings, as can the fact that he's moved into Ariana Grande's house after only knowing her a mere few months. After all, the delicate details are at stake, right? And that's a child's life. The couple reportedly moved in together in September, less than 2 months after Ethan filed for divorce from his wife, and with Ariana's own legal proceedings yet to even begin after splitting from husband Dalton Gomez at the time. According to a source from Us Weekly, as of October, Slater and Grande are living together in New York. The source revealed that he informed his friends and soon-to-be ex-wife Lily that he's living with Ariana full-time. The two have only known each other for less than a year and only romantically started being connected in March, but that doesn't seem to matter to the couple. Slater and Grande's living situation seems to prove that they are in it for the long haul, whether people like it or not, or whether they're thinking about future repercussions or not.
Starting off, we have Hailey and Justin Bieber. She was a rich nepo baby with the right connections to meet her childhood crush, and he was slowly going more off the rails as the years went on. Together, they're a match made in heaven and set to produce the world's most interesting nepo babies, to say the least. Hailey has not had an easy marriage to Justin, who often disrespects her, slams doors on her, or even intentionally embarrasses her. Yikes. Bieber said that he made the choice to love and marry Hailey. The way he described the decision made it seem like he felt obligated to marry someone in a way to help fix himself, or because her uncle set it up. I'm just going to choose this woman and just do it, Justin also added. For a wife, just choosing this woman is a kind of weird thing to say, considering they got married just 3 months after his past relationship ended with his infidelity. The wedding was sweet, but a little awkward. Hailey was so excited and smiling the entire time, but Justin was just emotionless for most of it. Literally just randomly screenshot any part of the wedding video and just look at his face compared to Hailey's. The whole mood was just awkward. Another relationship that didn't last because they secretly hated one another was Miley and Liam. Miley Cyrus admitted that she was dating her The Last Song co-star, Liam Hemsworth, in 2010, but their relationship hasn't exactly been seamless. By June the same year, the couple had split, but then they got back together and break up, then back together again, and then broken up. They were on and off. They became a stable couple in April 2011, but it still wasn't picture perfect. Liam was always shutting Miley down. There's famous footage of them on a red carpet where she licks his face playfully and he responds with, "Can't you ever behave?" through gritted teeth. By June 2012, they were engaged. Miley's rocking a rock on her finger and gearing up for her big day, and once again, Liam cheating rumors emerged. The pair later called off their engagement in September 2013 for that reason, with Miley going off the deep end for a little there, leading to the whole foam finger and black culture appropriation controversy she had. In an October 2015 interview with Men's Fitness, Hemsworth seemed to admit that he still had feelings for his then ex-fiancée, Cyrus. These seem to have inspired the songstress to hit DMs, because what do you know, in October 2016, Cyrus confirmed that the pair were engaged once again by cracking a joke about her ring on Ellen. But now they are 100% off, if Miley's Grammy-winning song Flowers is any indication. Kourtney and Scott Kardashian and Disick first met in 2006 at a party thrown by Girls Gone Wild creator Joe Francis in Mexico, according to Us Magazine. Apparently, Kardashian wasn't into Disick at first, saying, "I just thought he was so annoying." She explained during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, according to Cosmopolitan. He was 4 years younger, he lived in New York, he didn't have a job. All very valid reasons. This couple's early stages of their relationship were captured during earlier seasons of the reality show, and they seem to be going strong. However, Disick's substance abuse, heavy partying, and drinking seemed to draw issues in his relationship with her and actually led to infidelity. Kourtney and he became incredibly resentful towards one another, he for not having his frat boy lifestyle upheld, and she for not being treated like a mother and a partner. The couple broke up in 2015 after Disick was photographed with a Los Angeles stylist, the final affair that broke the camel's back. Until December 2016, when the couple gave it another go, but only a month or so later, in February 2017, it was over in a snap thanks to cheating. Since then, it's common knowledge that Scott misses Kourtney and wishes he could undo his past wrongs. Kourtney, however, moved on, and while she co-parents with him, the couple are staying separated. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard met on the set of The Rum Diary, and I know nobody will ever watch that movie ever, but fun fact, it was weirdly predictive of what their lives would become. Depp left his partner of 14 years and mother to his child to be with the younger Heard. By early 2012, the two started dating and were married by 2015 during a private ceremony in their home in Los Angeles, according to Insider. Only a year later was Heard filing for divorce, also obtaining a temporary restraining order alleging that Depp had physically harmed her during their relationship. Depp denied the allegations, claiming Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging. According to The Guardian, since then, the two have been embroiled in back-and-forth claims. Meanwhile, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett have been going through it for well over 2 years now. The affair, the book, the slap. 2023 has been the year of watching Jada intentionally or otherwise completely demolish her husband's career. Whether you like her or not, this is a fact that can't be denied, as Will Smith's ratings, availability, everything have just plummeted no matter how hard he tries to handle the situation. Jada recently confessed that she really didn't want to get married to Will Smith. In fact, the Matrix actress admitted to crying down the aisle before tying the knot with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star on New Year's Eve in 1997. As it turns out, the infamous Oscar slap was just the beginning of already very underway scandal. Jada, the catalyst for the slap that led to her husband's 10-year expulsion from the Academy Awards, had a whole lot more to say about the incident and her marriage in Worthy, a memoir released in October. As Jada hit the publicity circuit, she dropped bombshell after bombshell, but all of them at the expense of her husband, with a thin veil of, no, I'm talking about myself actually, laid over top of it. The biggest bit of drama somehow came not from her cheating, then making him sit at a table and talk about her cheating, then writing a book about her cheating. It was actually when Pinkett announced she and Smith had been separated for years before that fateful Oscar night. Only one half of this couple deserves the wave of social media criticism: Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson. Imagine begging Keke Palmer and then doing what this man did. It was confirmed by Us Weekly on November 9th that Palmer is seeking a restraining order against Jackson and requesting full custody of their son. Turns out he is a classic woman hater. He doubled down on his stance at the time, writing in a since-deleted July 5th post, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is." He added, "This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." And though Keke didn't respond to the online drama directly, she did begin selling "I'm a Mother" merch shortly after. Not to mention, she teamed up with Usher himself after the fact to star in his music video for his single Boyfriend. According to the docs obtained by Us, the actress claimed that she and Jackson called it quits in October, very shortly after his public Twitter tantrum. A reality TV scandal really had an impact and left 3 people miserable. If you weren't a Vanderpump Rules fan, to fill you in, the controversy was over Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, the 2 longtime stars from the Bravo reality show. The 2 have been dating for 9 years when, without warning, in March it was revealed they'd broken up. Yeah, turns out Sandoval had been cheating on his girl of 9 years with her best friend and co-star Raquel. Ouch. Not only was the affair confirmed, much of the aftermath played out in public on Vanderpump Rules reunion special, Instagram, and podcasts. Madix now says she has no interaction with either of them. Meanwhile, Raquel has had a complete breakdown over the consequences of her own actions and quit the show before checking herself into a mental health facility. All the while, the man in the middle, Sandoval, is still holding on, still making statements about how he fought so hard for Raquel and was fully in love with her, but she shooed him away when the scandal broke. Next up, we have Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Joe and Turner called it quits after 4 years of marriage, with Jonas filing for divorce on September 5th. According to the paperwork, the musician stated that it is in the best interests of the couple's 2 daughters that the parties have shared parental responsibility. Immediately after news of their divorce leaked, it was very obvious that Joe's PR team was leaking stories to the press about Sophie. It was poorly done and made him and his team look really bad. The first version of the story was that Sophie was a partier and that Joe had to do all of the parenting. There's ample footage and evidence that the situation in reality is reversed. He is a much bigger partier, and they have both talked about this on record before, as have many individuals and news outlets. Then things got even more embarrassing because sources close to Joe started releasing a ridiculous number of successive stories about the divorce, including the Ring doorbell drama. Meghan and Machine Gun Kelly are notoriously rocky and swing back and forth between utter adoration and complete hatred. Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly have been dating since 2020. A source close to Megan says it's always the same thing. They have severe trust issues in the relationship. It's been rough, but they're still trying to work through it. Back in March 2023, a source claimed they were on a break, but still in contact with each other. They said they are very hot and cold. They have stalled wedding planning to work on their issues. Cruise. Their relationship is pretty volatile at the moment. They are currently off but still texting each other. Megan took to Instagram to set the record straight on her high-profile relationship days after cheating rumors dominated headlines in February of 2023. These rumors were sparked by her deleting all her photos of MGK from Instagram and posting a cryptic quote about dishonesty. Last but not least, we have Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Their 72-day marriage had certainly shown signs that it was going to end quickly. A few days before Kim divorced Kris on day 68, the couple were spotted arguing in their car while out on a dinner date in Hollywood. The newlywed couple were photographed heading back to Kim's car after dinner, and you could visibly see the tension in the air. Kris looked fed up, and Kim was giving her new husband the death stare while yelling and waving her hands at him as the argument began to escalate. This very public fight was indicative that their relationship was on the rocks, because that same year, Kim went on to file for divorce and get the marriage annulled. The Los Angeles Times even reported that Kim had only married him to increase ratings on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The best part was that Kris asked for a $7 million divorce settlement from his ex-wife. Otherwise, he threatened to make her endure an ugly public trial. But the NBA star ended up walking away with literally nothing.
Ariana Grande shocked the world when she divorced from her real estate husband, Dalton Gomez, who I personally think looks a lot like Pete Davidson if he wasn't from New York, and began dating yeah, SpongeBob. Well, at least from the Broadway musical, Ethan Slater. And right away, the two began to get instant hate because of the rumored cheating that happened. And long story short, the two were in a different relationship and started hanging out and having double dates with their previous partners, and ultimately broke things off and ended up together. They've been quite quiet about their relationship, but one person who was Ethan's ex, Lily J, has welcomed their son back in 2022. But a year later, filed for divorce and began dating Ariana, and people have even compared Ethan to looking a lot like Ariana's brother Frankie. And let's take a look to compare, and let's take a guess on which one's Ariana's brother versus Ethan Slater. I'm gonna be completely honest, they look a lot like a different font of each other, or at least a mirror reflection. Well, if you guessed Frankie was on the left and Ethan was on the right, ding ding ding, you got it right. And one Reddit user wrote, Ethan is slightly more punchable, I think it's his bob teeth. That was not my words, but another user also wrote, they look like identical twins who have made a pact to look different from one another to little success. Like, I see the similarities, and identical, maybe a little bit. Plus, others have been saying Ariana's been slowly morphing into Ethan, but I'll let you be the judge of that. And another celebrity couple that keeps getting in trouble is Kanye West and former Yeezy employee Bianca Censori. As controversial as Kanye is, this relationship just makes things worse, as many believe he is using Bianca like a prop in order to humiliate and get back at Kim. She looked a lot like Kim before dating Kanye, as we can see here. The hair, the style, the body, they were all similar. But once Bianca began dating the rapper, she completely changed her appearance. She's blonde now, has short hair, and many even noticed Kanye has completely changed her style, as she often wears sheer clothes that basically show off her entire body. And this couple has even gotten banned from a company in Italy after being photographed on their boat doing questionable activities, and that went viral. From the moment Selena Gomez made it public that she began dating Benny Blanco, the comment section went crazy. And they started to compare Benny Blanco to Pete Davidson, as they don't understand how he pulled such a beauty like Selena. And of course, beauty is suggestive, and months after hinting towards a new crush, it was finally confirmed in December of 2023. So first, she liked the celebrity post page about the rumors surrounding her and Benny, and then the same account posted that Selena liked their previous photo, and Selena even commented facts to confirm she is indeed dating Benny. Plus, let's take a look to see what she added on her story. She looks all cuddly and comfortable, but I can't stop staring at his zebra shirt. There's so many zebras. And when people commented about Selena's new relationship, calling Benny words like unhandsome, Selena would defend her man and write back with, I feel bad for you. And in another comment, even added he's better than anyone else she's ever been with. So although many Selena fans are just happy she's happy, others are critical. But like Selena once said, it comes naturally when you're with me, baby. Gypsy Rose was sentenced to prison after being involved in her mother's passing and gained huge media attention as she was recently released, and some are happy for her because of the motives behind her actions years ago, as as she suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy. But since she was released, her husband Ryan has been getting hate, and many have been comparing his looks to Gypsy's mother Dee Dee, as we can see in this photo. The two side by side are honestly quite similar, but she wasn't afraid to defend her love in his Instagram comments, telling him not to let the hate get to him because they're just jealous he's got a fire D. Her words, not mine. Okay, for a period of time, I'm pretty sure I couldn't search for football scores or news without seeing anything about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And this made many fans, I should specify and say football fans, mad because there were so many comments about how she's just using him for a new album. But the majority were mad that too many broadcasters were mentioning Taylor Swift and would cut away to the game, which made them feel like it was destroying it. I don't know, I don't really watch football. Chris, the producer, what do you think about this?
Actually, I don't watch football.
Oh, well, you can let us know if you watch football, but besides all that, her fans seem to be very happy for her as they've been sharing clips of him attending her shows, and according to both their families, they've never seen them happier. Have you ever seen that girl who went viral for dressing up as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce as a couple's costume years before they actually began dating? Because that girl and her boyfriend should buy a lottery ticket. Have you ever adopted a child and years later decided to marry them? Yeah, it's weird, right? Because this is exactly what Woody Allen's relationship with his own stepdaughter is like. In fact, he ended his 10-year affiliation with his wife at the time after Mia Farrow in order to pursue his relationship with Soon Yi, which is his adopted daughter. I don't understand how this is allowed, but I don't know, it might just be me. They even appeared on red carpet events together, hand in hand, and if you don't know the story between them, you would assume there is nothing wrong, but the other adopted siblings have claimed disgusting acts Woody allegedly did to them. Definitely a hated celebrity couple, and personally, I think it's a good reason. Anyways, I always see things on my social media that I simply don't care about, and that includes Jada Pinkett Smith and her relationship with Will Smith. And although Jada seems to be what many point their finger towards, calling her a narcissist who overshares information that should be kept private. Whoa, sorry Will, I'll make sure to keep her name out of my mouth once she stops oversharing information that we didn't ask for. But they have ultimately grown as a couple. Many can't stand it, and those who once supported him have even given up on him because of his wife. I mean, the two even had a school back in 2008 called New Village Leadership Academy, which taught curriculum with a technique called study technology, which is a method devised by L. Ron Hubbard, who is the founder of the cult or religion Scientology. But yeah, the couple has been criticized for everything from their relationship to red table talk and their parenting, and of course the Oscars slap. One couple I definitely did not see coming was the romance between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. The two, who seem to be complete opposites, have been spending time together away from the spotlight, but of course not too far away because there are photos of the two showing PDA, and this was just surprising to some, with one person asking if this was a prank. Another user wrote, "Tell me how I still don't believe Timothy and Kylie know each other despite there being video evidence now." Here, let's see a photo of the two side by side and see if it's really surprising or not. Oops, wrong one, I meant to show this one. They were kissing and everything, but I think no matter who Kylie dates, they will probably get hate for just being with her. Stormy baby, it looks like Timothy's your new stepfather. Moving on, imagine being with someone for 10 years and once you guys break up, they begin dating someone who you met as a child. While Vanessa Hudgens and Austin Butler were long-term lovers before ultimately splitting, which resulted in Austin dating supermodel Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya Gerber. She is much younger than Austin and was a fan of Vanessa back when High School Musical was released. Look at the difference. It's so crazy that they didn't know it back then, but both girls would end up dating the same man. And because of this, many have actually begun to have a lack of respect towards Austin. Alexa, play I Gotta Go My Own Way from High School Musical 2. Usually the royal family marries within, but Prince Harry had other thoughts as he married former Suits actress Meghan Markle. But since day one, they have gained a ton of hate, especially due to their public appearances and interviews speaking up against the royal family and making serious claims against them. But over the years, it appears the two have been going strong as they even welcomed a family of their own. But it doesn't seem like they have a very good relationship with the royals themselves, and there's even been videos of the public ignoring Meghan or not liking her. What are your thoughts on this couple? Because I'm honestly quite curious.
First off, we have Miss Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton and her husband Carl Dean tied the knot over 50 years ago, but have always had an open nature to their relationship. The country superstar says that the couple have a don't ask, don't tell policy, even though they consider each other soulmates. If we cheat, we don't know it. So if we do cheat, it's very good for both of us. I don't want to know it if he's cheating on me, and if I'm cheating on him, he wouldn't want to know it. This is a weird quote. And if we do, if that's what's making it work, then that is fine too, Dolly once said. The Jolie hitmaker first met Carl outside their local laundromat in 1964 when she was 18 and he was 21. Within 2 years, they were married and they've managed to keep the romance alive throughout their relationship. While Dolly previously admitted that, quote, men are my weakness, her husband doesn't seem to mind, and he knows that she loves him madly. Men are my weakness, the country singer explained. Short, fat, bald, skinny, I've had crushes on some very unusual men, but Carl knows I'll always come home and I'm not having intercourse with any of these people. I'm just flirting and having fun. He's not jealous and I'm not jealous of him. He knows I flirt, he flirts too, Dolly wrote in her 2017 book, Dolly on Dolly. She added, yes, it's an open relationship, but not sexually, and I would kill him if I thought he was doing that. Next, we have Shailene Woodley, the star of Fault in Our Stars and Divergent, had some things to say on her open relationship experience. Although she's no longer in that relationship, she'd be willing to do it again in the future, she says. Listen, I'm someone who has experienced both an open relationship and a deeply monogamous relationship in my life, and I think we are in a day and age where there should be no rules except for the ones designed by 2 people in a partnership, or 3 people, whatever floats your boat. But there has to be a level of responsibility in any relationship dynamic, and that responsibility is simply honesty and communication and trust. Apart from that, it's really none of our business what people choose to do with their lives, Shailene told the New York Times. Next, we have Angelina and Brad Pitt. During the course of Brad Pitt and Angelina's relationship, the couple were rumored to be open to seeing other people. At one point, Angelina said that she didn't believe relationships needed fidelity and that she didn't feel, quote, chained to Brad. I doubt that fidelity is absolutely essential for a relationship. It's worse to leave your partner and talk badly about him afterwards. Neither Brad nor I have ever claimed that living together means to be chained together. We make sure that we never restrict one another, Angelina said. Next, we have perhaps the most famous open couple in Hollywood, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. Will and Jada are still married, but they have definitely taken an unconventional approach to it. Jada revealed in an interview with Hoda Kotb for the Today Show that the two have lived separately since 2016, but that they were still married with no plans for a legal divorce. The Red Table talk show host, Jada, even suggested that the separation was essentially a divorce and were no longer romantically together. On the Red Table talk show, Jada says, we are still trying to figure out between the 2 of us how to be in a partnership, right? And in regards to how we present that to people, she said, and we haven't figured that out. So why haven't they gotten a divorce if they have separated? Jada stated that she made a promise that there will never be a reason for them to ever divorce. We will work through whatever, and I just haven't been able to break that promise, she says. On a 2021 episode of her show Red Table Talk, Willow Smith, the daughter of Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, also opened up about being polyamorous. It's about being able to have the freedom to create a relationship for yourself, she said on the show, to the confusion of her grandmother sitting beside her. With polyamory, I think the main foundation is the freedom to be able to create a relationship style that works for you and not just stepping into monogamy because that's what everybody around you says is the right thing to do, Willow Smith says. I was like, how can I structure the way I approach relationships with that in mind? With the help of a diverse group of polyamorous guests, the Red Table Talk Show broke down myths and stigma associated with non-monogamy. They talked to experts to further drill down what it's all about. If people believe it can only end in unhappiness, well, many unhappy polyamorous people end up in my office. It's true, said Sheila Addison, a family and marriage therapist, as do many unhappy monogamous people. Next, we have Rachel Ray and her husband, John Cusimano. Chef Rachel Ray and her husband, John, have been married since 2005, and the couple's relationship has been the topic of many tabloid stories. Rumors of John frequenting a swingers club called Checkmate without Rachel fueled rumors that the couple is indeed in an open marriage. Although the two have never discussed their relationship relationship in public. They recently renewed their vows in 2015, so their unconventional marriage clearly works for them. Also, how they met is super hilarious. The two met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and when John told Ray about his cooking skills, she assumed he was gay. I was going to set him up with a friend of mine, another handsome Italian man, Rachel told People. Instead, she stayed out with him until 4 a.m., what she considers their first date. Next, we have Ethan Hawke. When he was still married to Uma Thurman, actor Ethan Hawke had a secret affair with Ryan Hawke, whom he later married. The actor told M.R. Porter that monogamy is a childish idea and that sexual faithfulness can't be the basis of a relationship. Having been married since 2008, actor Ethan Hawke is very committed to his new wife Ryan, but has spoken about the unrealistic expectations monogamy places on relationships. Quote, "People have such a childish view of monogamy and fidelity. He's cheated, so he's bad. She's cheated, so she's bad, as opposed to a recognition that our species is not monogamous," he told Porter magazine. "Sexual fidelity can't be the whole thing you hang your relationship on." Next, we have Gwyneth Paltrow and Coldplay star Chris Martin. According to People, the former couple maintained an open relationship because they believed extramarital flings are part of life. They were together for 11 years. She opened an essay in 2020, recalling the moment she realized her marriage to the Coldplay singer was over. "It was my birthday, my 38th birthday. My ex-husband and I were tucked away in the Tuscan countryside, on a hill in a beautiful cottage with a view of the forest," she wrote. "I don't recall when it happened exactly. I don't remember which day of the weekend it was or the time of day, but I knew, despite long walks and longer lie-ins, big glasses of Barolo, and hands held, my marriage was over." Gwyneth also reminisced about arriving upon this feeling of clarity toward her marriage, saying, "What I do remember is that it felt almost involuntary, like the ring of a bell that has sounded and cannot be undone. The inadvertent release of a helium balloon into the sky. I tried to quell that, knowing to push it far down. I tried to convince myself it had been a fleeting thought, but marriage is complicated and ebbed and flowed. But I knew it. It was in my bones." Next up, we have Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. Kristen and Dax have said a few things that have fans believing they've invited another person into their relationship. Actors Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell began dating in late 2007 after having met at a birthday party of a mutual friend. In January 2010, the two stars got engaged, but they delayed their wedding until the state of California passed legislation legalizing same-sex marriage, which happened in 2013. Nowadays, they are one of the industry's most well-known couples, and they have a combined net worth of $40 million. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, Dax Shepard joked about being in a three-way marriage with his wife Kristen Bell and his podcast co-host Monica Podman. "Absolutely, we are in a three-way marriage." Podman, who was also a guest on the episode, said, "Well, we were in a three-way marriage." After that, Kimmel asked whether the three-way marriage is also sexual, to which Podman quickly responded, "Not yet," and Dax said, "Unfortunately not. It's all the responsibilities of two wives without the fun." Next up, we have Scarlett Johansson. Back in 2017, Johansson shared in a Playboy interview that monogamy is not the key to a successful relationship. She went on to marry SNL star Colin Jost in 2020. She has previously been married to Ryan Reynolds 2008 to 2011 and Romain Doriac 2014 to 2017. In the Playboy interview, she stated, quote, "I don't think it's natural to be a monogamous person. I might be skewered for that, but I think it's work. It is a lot of work."
Number 10. Liza Koshy and David Dobrik. I remember the cultural reset this announcement caused. I mean, at first I thought it was a joke. There was no way that these two would ever break up. Well, you know, it wasn't a joke. And thank goodness, because after their breakup, Liza's career skyrocketed and David's, well, you know David. The two started dating in 2015 on the rise of both of their YouTube fame. David and his vlog squad, and Liza with the colorful array of characters she manufactured herself. They would frequently appear in each other's videos and were definitely one of the happiest seeming couples. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. In 2018, the infamous breakup video dropped. The pair said that their breakup was amicable and that they had decided a couple months prior that they would simply be better off as platonic friends. Number 9. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. This star-powered pair first met in 2004 while filming their movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, while Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston. Rumors of a relationship began to circle on set, and shortly after the movie, Pitt and Aniston announced their separation after 5 years of marriage. By July of 2005, the pair was spotted together and confirmed their relationship. 10 years after meeting, the two got got married in 2014. However, you could call their wedding the calm before the storm. Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences and providing no comments to news outlets or prying eyes, which she did for the privacy of her family. She's an amazing mother and a fantastic woman. Icon for life, honestly. Number 8. Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder. Ian Somerhalder and Nina Dobrev shared the screen for 6 seasons as Damon Salvatore and Elena Gilbert on The Vampire Diaries. Interestingly, their on-screen chemistry extended to real life as they became romantically involved from 2010 to 2013, despite Dobrev's initial intention to maintain a strictly professional approach on set. In an interview with 17 in October 2012, Dobrev confessed that she resisted the idea of dating a co-star, but acknowledged that sometimes connections were inevitable. Throughout their relationship, the couple kept a relatively low profile, occasionally giving glimpses of their romance during trips and music festivals. Despite parting ways in 2013, they managed to sustain both a professional and personal connection after the breakup. Number 7. Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter. Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter shared a unique and definitely eccentric partnership, both in their professional and romantic lives. Their collaboration began on the set of Planet of the Apes in 2001 and extended to 8 films, including some of my favorite movies like Corpse Bride and Todd. Despite their long collaboration and personal connection, the couple chose not to marry, opting for a distinctive living arrangement in London's Belsize Park. They maintained separate houses, joined by a hallway, with Bonham Carter revealing in 2010 that the decision was due to the small size of her home. She explained that the arrangement of separate living allowed them to balance togetherness with personal space, jokingly adding that Burton's snoring was a noteworthy aspect of their unconventional housing situation. While their professional collaboration was incredible and extremely successful, Bonham Carter still acknowledged that it wasn't always smooth sailing. In an interview, she admitted that her working relationship had its challenges, particularly during the filming of Sweeney Todd, where the two were known to often argue. The couple, parents to 2, eventually separated in 2014, ending their extraordinary cinematic and personal journey together. Number 6. Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson, an iconic couple from 2008 to 2011, shared a very high-profile marriage before parting ways. In a candid interview with Time Out New York in December 2009, Johansson disclosed the challenges of balancing their hectic schedules. She emphasized the difficulties in their respective profession and the struggle to allocate time for family amidst their demanding careers. This revelation must have marked a turning point as the couple officially announced their separation in 2010, finalizing their divorce in July of 2011. While the end of their marriage was undoubtedly a significant chapter, it paved the way for personal and professional growth for both of them. Post-divorce, Ryan Reynolds found love anew, tying the knot with Blake Lively in 2012, and thank goodness, because they're my favorite celebrity couple. They are so funny and their tweets are so, I love them, I love them. They make me believe in love. Is that sad? I don't know. I have divorced parents, whatever. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson entered a new chapter by marrying Saturday Night Live head writer Colin Jost in 2020. It was a happy ending for everyone. Number 5. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, once the epitome of a relaxed and harmonious couple, revealed their separation in 2022, marking the end of their nearly 17-year-long relationship. The couple, known for prioritizing their blended family, included Bonet's ex-husband Lenny Kravitz and daughter Zoe Kravitz, along with their shared children Lola and Nakoa Wolf. Momoa had long harbored admiration for Bonet, dating back to his childhood when he first saw her on The Cosby Show. Their paths crossed in 2005 at a jazz club, and the pair welcomed their first child together 2 years later. Despite keeping their marriage under wraps until 2017, the couple stunned fans by announcing their separation after nearly 5 years of marriage in January 2022. Insiders revealed that the decision to part ways was not abrupt, emphasizing that the couple had been amazing for years until they no longer were. Number 4. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. After a 4-year marriage and the birth of 2 children, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner decided to end their relationship. The formalities of their separation were set in motion when Jonas filed for a dissolution of marriage from Turner on September 5th, 2022. 2023, citing irreparable breakdown as the grounds for their parting ways. Addressing the end of their union, the couple took to Instagram the next day to reveal that the decision was a mutual one. Their romantic relationship began in 2016 when Sophie and Jonas connected through Instagram DMs. Despite initial reservations on Turner's part, an evening at a British pub brought them closer, leading to Jonas proposing a year later. In 2019, the couple celebrated their commitment with 2 ceremonies, a surprise event in Las Vegas and a grand affair in the French countryside. Turner once expressed that marriage had only strengthened their bond, providing a profound sense of security. The couple's family grew with the arrival of daughters Willa in 2020 and Delphine in 2022. Despite the joys and public declarations of love, the journey has reached its end and custody battles have ensued, and it doesn't really seem like they're all too happy with each other anymore. Number 3. Amy Poehler and Will Arnett. The paths of actors Amy Poehler and Will Arnett first crossed in the 1990s when Arnett witnessed a performance by Poehler's improv group in New York City, which just, wow, what a sentence. Although Arnett was smitten by Poehler, the two didn't embark on a romantic journey until friends reintroduced them to each other in 2000. Their professional lives became intertwined as they collaborated on various projects, ranging from portraying unconventional siblings in Blades of Glory to making guest appearances on each other's TV shows, Poehler on Parks and Recreation and Arnett on Arrested Development, which, I mean, both hilarious. Those are 2 of my favorite shows, especially Arrested Development, because Will Arnett's character Joe, fantastic, fantastic. In 2003, the couple exchanged vows, marking Poehler's inaugural marriage and Arnett's second after a brief stint with Penelope Ann Miller. The union blossomed into a family with the arrival of their 2 sons, Archie and Abel. Despite parting ways in 2012, Poehler and Arnett remained dedicated co-parents, retaining an amicable relationship. God, they must have been so funny together. What I would do to have been to a dinner party. That is, oh, be so good. Okay. Number 2. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. This amazing pair initially crossed paths as co-stars in The Amazing Spider-Man, where they co-starred as Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, where they experienced a real-life romance mirroring their on-screen connection. Over a span of 4 years, they navigated their relationship through the filming of another Spider-Man installment and embarked on a global journey together for press. Despite their eventual breakup and subsequent individual pursuits, with Stone now happily married with a child and Garfield romantically linked to model Alyssa Miller, the bond they share endures. Retaining a genuine friendship, the two openly express their continued affection and admiration for one another. In a 2016 interview with Vogue, Stone conveyed that Garfield remains someone I still love very much. Garfield reciprocated the sentiment the following year in Vanity Fair, emphasizing the abundance of love and respect between them, asserting himself as her biggest fan as an artist. Oh, and his shot of espresso speech could bring me to tears. I would fold immediately if anyone ever spoke to me that way, or of me, I guess. Number 1. Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez. In October 2023, the divorce of Dalton and Ari was finalized, which followed their publicized separation in July of last year. Oh my god, and it's last year now, that's insane. Grande and Gomez's relationship began during 2020 as they spent a considerable amount of time together, nurturing their connection. Despite the challenges posed by the global state at this time, Gomez proposed to Grande in December of 2020. On May 17th, 2021, it was confirmed that Grande and Gomez had secretly exchanged vows in their California home. Unfortunately, their union came to an end shortly after their 2-year anniversary mark. By July 20th, 2023, reports emerged that Grande had entered a new romantic chapter with her Wicked co-star in Slater. Sources disclosed that Grande and Slater began dating after her separation from Dalton in January. The relationship was described as recent, marked by fun and enjoyment of each other's company, although there was no official confirmation or announcement of a separation or divorce involving Slater and his wife beyond People's initial report.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have infidelity. So Taylor Swift's breakups tend to be really messy, and when the star released her song High Infidelity, she pretty much hinted at the fact that she hasn't been 100% faithful in her previous relationships. With Taylor bringing up the topic of cheating and leaving a loveless relationship. When she specifically mentioned April 29th was a major turning point for the star, she didn't exactly mention what year made her come to this conclusion. With many fans curious with tracking down what may have happened to her that day, they have connected the dots back to two people. The first one being Calvin Harris, whom Swift reportedly dated for 15 months before splitting back in 2016. With April 29, 2016 also being the day the Scottish DJ released "This Is What You Came For," he would then tell Ryan Seacrest that Taylor was about to take a long break, and that same day she would be spotted shopping in New York City, preparing for the Met Gala which she was hosting, and at the May 2nd event she was then seen dancing with Tom Hiddleston, who she would go on to date later that summer, which then went on to hint that she may have cheated on Calvin with Tom. And when it came to Tom and Taylor's relationship, that also ended quick, and she would then jump into a relationship with Joe, which also has fans speculating that Taylor cheated on Tom with Joe, and it now has them wondering if she possibly just recently cheated on Joe. But honestly, would we really be mad at the fact, as he's just a little too basic when you compare him to the previous guys she's dated before. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what we might just cover next. Number 9, the deleted cat pics. So even when couples are together, sometimes we see them delete pictures of each other because they just didn't match the mood of their Instagram feed. And while breakups tend to happen, when you have to scrub everything from your page, including pictures of their animals, then it's clear things really didn't end as well as you were hoping for. With fans heading to Instagram and other social media outlets to find out if the pair actually did split, with some remaining hopeful that the split was just all a rumor, many fans would then be heartbroken to find out that the rumors might just be true after they pointed out that Joe has removed all of the photos he had of Taylor Swift's cats. And it really makes you ask, in the process, what did the poor innocent cats do, Joe? Number 8, swap songs. If you were one of the lucky people who were able to score a Taylor Swift era ticket after the whole Ticketmaster scandal, then you know if you were at Taylor's March 31st show, things definitely went a little different than they have in the previous shows. Fans were surprised at her show in Texas after they noticed Taylor Swift swapped out her song Invisible String for The One during the folklore part of her show. Fans would then point out that the star could have done this to drop some major Easter eggs to confirm that her and Joe have officially broken up. With Invisible String being about two soulmates, fans have pointed out that the song could have been about Joe, and that's why she swapped the song for The One, which is ironically enough about a breakup, which is about a former lover and how Taylor was still mourning the loss of that love. When news of her breakup started to emerge, this is when fans speculated that the two were significantly related, as they started to flood to Twitter to say, is this why she switched Invisible String for The One? And with the star playing her new set list since, it's not really hard to see why people think this. Number 7, crying during champagne problems. During Taylor Swift's recent show, the singer has visibly been emotional during Champagne Problems, a song which is about a woman turning down her lover's proposal. With a video on TikTok going viral over the incident, has now gained over 3.4 million views as it shows Taylor's eyes glistening during the rendition. With fans soon taking to Twitter to make comments about the incident, one fan would question if the rumors surrounding Taylor and Joe's relationship were true when she said, "Is this why she was crying during Champagne Problems? Because they broke up. Stop now, I refuse to believe this." However, TikTok users were less than convinced, after some even pointed out Taylor was crying because she just performed Marjorie. So she was just emotional when she was singing Champagne Problems because she was still thinking about her grandmother. With Evermore also being based on her real feelings that the star has also experienced, TikTok users have also said that the star could have just become really emotional here because of the crowd. Number 6, silence. When neither Joe and Taylor or their representatives making a comment on the pair's breakup officially, well yet. We all know the comments are coming very shortly, as there have been a number of so-called inside sources close to the couple that have been spilling all the tea surrounding the couple's breakup to various media outlets, which can only assume that these rumors have also come with the permission of either Taylor or Joe, or both. With one source close to Taylor telling CNN that the couple's relationship simply just grew apart and that they were planning to remain good friends, ET would also post a similar report where they would note that apparently Joe and Taylor's split was amicable. With there being so much unknown due to the couple's silence, it's not really surprising, as they did tend to keep things pretty private. However, with saying that, you definitely know that we're going to keep you up to date as soon as an official statement is made, or most likely when Taylor finally drops a couple more Easter eggs while she's on tour for her Eras tour. 5, missing. So if you've been on TikTok this past week, then you are well well aware of all the Easter eggs Swift fans have been uncovering to the point that it's cleared Joe and Taylor have in fact ended their 6-year relationship. And with it, a lot of us have been pointing out that throughout the Eras tour, Joe hasn't been spotted backstage doing any support of Olivia Wilde like dancing for Taylor Swift's first few shows, and he's been missing in the weeks to come. With many fans freaking out about the state of the pair's relationship since the start of Taylor's show due to Joe's presence missing, maybe fans were right to start freaking out about the pair's relationship, as there was clearly something going on, and it was the start of all of their relationship problems. With the former couple in the beginning stating that Joe just wasn't around as much due to scheduling issues, while we all wish the actor was just missing because of a filming conflict, it just seems like that wasn't the case. Number 4. Unfollow Joe. With everybody deep diving into Taylor and Joe's relationship and what have may gone wrong, other fans have been trying to find out if the couple really did break up, or is this just press clickbait sort of thing. However, what many fans haven't noticed is that Taylor actually ended up unfollowing Joe at the start of all this drama, and it wasn't really suspicious as the star did it in a less sneaky way. If you head over to Taylor Swift's Instagram profile, you may have noticed that the star recently unfollowed everyone on the platform, including her best friend Selena Gomez. With the star unfollowing everyone including Joe, it made things not really suspicious, but now that their split has become a trending topic, it makes you wonder when the star chose to unfollow everyone, why she chose to unfollow everyone, and why her and Joe decided to call it quits. Number 3. The Ring. With the release of Taylor's newest album, Midnights, the internet would start to speculate that Taylor and Joe were engaged, as millions of fans couldn't help but zoom in on images and videos of Taylor's ring finger after the star was spotted wearing a pear-shaped diamond engagement ring in her documentary Miss Americana, with the engagement ring appearing to have a thin band in a white gold or platinum in a large stunning pear diamond. In the process, we all knew we wouldn't expect to see this beautiful ring always out and about. But recently it seems like even when Taylor isn't in a big venue, the ring has completely disappeared from her finger, which makes it abundantly clear that the couple is trying to keep their split behind closed doors, and we probably won't see them make any comments about their split until Taylor decides she wants to put it on her next album. But honestly, the whole missing ring thing is seriously some major tea. Number 2. Engagement comments. When Taylor Swift and Joe's relationship hit a high point in the tabloids back in 2022, Joe would come out to address all the speculation surrounding the idea that he secretly proposed to Taylor Swift. But with it, he honestly keeps things really sus. With Joe playing things super coy, he would kind of make a joke that kind of hinting that he was going to marry Taylor. He probably wouldn't go through with it when he said, "If I had a pound for every time I think I've been told I've been engaged, then I've had a lot of pound coins." He would then go on to say even if the rumors were true, he wasn't going to say anything, which was kind of hinting that he didn't even want to be in a relationship with Taylor. And even though he was with her, he wanted her to be his secret. When he said, "I mean, the truth is, if the answer was yes, I wouldn't say. And if the answer was no, I wouldn't say." Number 1. Quiet during the Selena scandal. Now that we've discovered that Taylor Swift has now split from her fiance Joe Alwyn, it makes a lot of sense to why she's been really quiet after the news started to break about the whole Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber scandal. With Taylor usually being the one to voice her opinions and fight back against the bullies, she stayed relatively quiet during this whole bullying thing, especially when videos started to emerge of Hailey Bieber gagging while making fun of Taylor Swift in the process. And maybe this is because Taylor has been so busy trying to focus on coping with the loss of Joe, and that she really just didn't have the time or energy to clap back at the Jenner sisters and Hailey in the process, which isn't really a Taylor thing to do. And maybe this is why we saw Selena come out and defend her friend in the process. Either way, I could just be diving into this issue way too deep. It could all just be a coincidence, but it does highlight something was going on with the star to prove why she's been missing from social media and why she's been pretty quiet these days.
At number 10, we have former acting couple Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. The questionable age gap at the time of their relationship was already convincing enough for many to believe that their marriage would not make it to the end of time. The two met back when Demi was 25 and Ashton was 41, but the older star had 3 children closer in age to him than Demi was. With this fact in mind, there were also rumors of infidelity on his part and opening up their relationship to others that certainly did not help keep their marriage afloat. It's been reported by various sources that the most surprising outcome of the marriage ending is just how long it took for them to call it quits. Yikes. At number 9, we have another acting twosome who announced they were splitting yet again, at no real surprise for fans. Apparently the ex-spouses spouses were having an insane amount of marital issues for years before their separation. Alongside rumors of infidelity in their relationship, there were also apparently the tripling up of Ben's gambling and drinking problems. It probably didn't save their situation once Ben announced in his 2013 Oscar speech how he and Jennifer were working on their marriage at that point. Surely you may not all be that shocked to know, with all that information, that the two revealed the end of their marriage in 2015. At number 8 we have actress Gwyneth Paltrow and English singer-songwriter Chris Martin, who didn't make the public announcement that they decided to separate until 2014, following 10 whole years of marriage. There were very obvious signs between them that indicated they might not have been seeing a long future together, and it seems fans were undoubtedly right on the money. Not one of them was caught off guard due to the fact that they would not pose together on red carpets nor discuss one another in interviews they gave prior. In fact, when Gwyneth discussed her marriage in interviews, it was only to explain how hard it was for her to be married. Reportedly, there were cheating rumors involved with them, and they were broadcasted as another Hollywood couple with an open marriage. Regardless, the very obvious signs that things were donezo were clearly written in the stars long before the divorce papers were signed, stamped, and finalized. At number 7 we have actor Tom Cruise and actress Katie Holmes. Now these two were somewhat of a wreck just waiting to happen according to just about everybody. As soon as they went public with their love back in 2005, the public was already expecting a breakup to take place between the two of them. It was said to be mainly due to their age difference, but there were also loads of smaller issues that most likely played a huge part in their romantic demise. For one, Tom was 14 years Katie's senior, and there was the biggest and probably least surprising Scientology mess. Where Katie was brought up as a Catholic, Tom was heavily devoted to the practice of Scientology, which has its own slew of bad rumors and unethical practices and brainwashing techniques attached to its name. Then there was the fact that both Tom and Katie were at two very different places in their career at the time, which inevitably doomed their relationship from the get-go. Where Tom was a megastar hitting all the biggest screens, Katie was just up and coming as an actress. Surprisingly enough, their marriage remained intact for 6 whole years, but on the opposite end, no one was quite shocked to see it go. At number 6 we have former lovebirds from the 2nd season of the reality series Love is Blind. Featured stars Danielle Rule and Nick Thompson are reportedly calling their marriage quit after a single year of being together. According to news sources that were scoped from multiple online documents, Danielle filed for divorce in Illinois on August 15th at the Cook County Circuit Court. The once seemingly happy duo met and fell in love on Netflix's dating show and went on to tie the knot in June 2021. Their season finale wedding was featured in the show, which was released in February of this year. However, they haven't publicly confirmed their split when news sources originally made the discovery and began publishing their stories. More so, Danielle is still listed as a Thompson in her Instagram bio and handle. On June 8th, the couple posted sweet tributes on Instagram to mark the celebration of their 1-year wedding anniversary, so things seemed okay at that time. In fact, Nick's post featured an image of him and Danielle at their wedding, with an explanation that although marriages broadcasted on TV are tough, he and Danielle are, quote, putting in the work to get to know each other and learn how to be partners for one another. The former spouses were the only pair of the two couples on season 2 of Love is Blind to end up tying the knot, as the opposite duo Ariana and Jarrett announced their plans to divorce just a few days after Danielle filed for her own separation paperwork, ironically enough. Many LIV fans were initially disappointed to know that these couples broke up, as season 1 couples Lauren and Cameron and Amber and Matthew are still together to this day. At number 5 we have the queen of pop Britney Spears and her ex-husband Kevin Federline. I think it's safe to say that once Britney first made the announcement that she would be walking down the aisle with her former backup dancer turned lover, the world seemingly knew they'd be a disaster waiting to crash. But people were surprised when Britney and Kevin began having children together. Still, fans were wickedly anticipating a divorce announcement from Britney and Kevin at the time. The relationship lasted a brief 2 years before Britney apparently blindsided Kevin with her filing for divorce. However, supporters of the pop star weren't nearly as disturbed by it, of course. At number 4 we have previous Keeping Up with the Kardashian love stars Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner, who formerly went by Bruce Jenner back when they were married. One thing I can tell you for sure is that at the beginning, their relationship seemed picture perfect. They had the typical solid match made in heaven type of romance, apparently, but this soon changed as Kris began growing more and more successful, with their family becoming just as famous. This is where Kris and the previously Bruce's relationship would experience major change. By the time the reality show hit its 4th season, it appeared Kris and Caitlyn couldn't really stand to be around each other. However, in probably the most surprising feat on today's list, both reality reality stars managed to make it all the way to season 8 before they finally put a wrap on their marriage. Still, this one was deemed by fans worldwide to be a marriage destined for failure for a long time coming. At number 3, we have comedian John Mulaney and his ex-wife and artist Anne-Marie Tendler. The couple shared a 6-year-long relationship and a dog prior to the end of their romantic ties. John would very frequently make jokes regarding their relationship during his comedy stand-up routines, including one in 2018 where he referred to Anne as a dynamite female dog during his Kid Gorgeous special. We'll never know if the jokes on top of the other BS became too much for Anne in the end, but the pair officially headed for Splitsville in July. Their divorce announcement followed a few short months after John was admitted into rehab for substance abuse back in December 2020. After this, he would go on to date actress Olivia Munn, where he continued to stir up relationship news drama. The most shocking thing for fans of Olivia and John was the announcement of their then soon-to-be welcome child, born in November 2021. John has headlined just about every pop culture news outlet you can think of nowadays for the way he broke things off with Anne. At number 2, we have formerly married twosome Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. These two public icons are very heavily part of Hollywood's former it couples because everybody loved them. However, even with this, it seems that there were a few fans who weren't all that surprised by their eventual separation. In 2018, their divorce was announced from the original marriage in 2009, and Anna has been vocal about feeling as if she was forced to split with Chris after 8 years of marriage, but she has since re-fallen in love with cinematographer Michael Barrett. Chris is currently married to Hollywood royalty Catherine Schwarzenegger. Still, Anna and Chris first met during a 2007 table read where they're sharing starring roles in the film Take Me Home Tonight. In the end though, Anna became angry over fans' reactions to her split with Chris and the picture-perfect family image she tried her hardest to create that crumbled right before her eyes. At number 1, we have the world's least shocking couple to divorce to date, Miss Kim Kardashian and her rapping ex-husband Kanye West. With the spiral both their relationship and Kanye himself was headed into, it wasn't a shock to Kim Ye fans when the former celebrity couple decided to part ways. It seems non-shocking ends to marriages run deep in the Kardashian family too, as of course we need to honorably mention Khloe's failed marriage with her previous partner Lamar Odom. Still, Kim and Kanye have been dubbed as today's incoming split just bound to happen, according to fans and viewers of the Keeping Up with the Kardashian reality show. Apparently their fate was set in stone as far back as them tying the knot in 2014, according to many. Reportedly, the once powerhouse duo constantly butted heads in their later years due to their rising careers and demanding schedules. Words of Kim once stated, "He should have a wife that supports his every move and travels with him and does everything, and I can't." This was back during the series finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where she cried during her confession. Ironically enough, Kim was also the one who filed for divorce back in February 2021. She later explained to Vogue that her reasoning for them separating was actually because she made the decision to put herself first. Quote, "Even if that created changes and caused my divorce, I think it's important to be honest with yourself about what really makes you happy." And while Kim Ye once held the title of star-crossed lovers in the beginning, Kanye is still intent on making their marriage work once more, even with Kim wanting to move on. Since then, Kanye had posted a number of direct Instagram uploads for Kim, with one stating, "God please bring our family back together," from a since deleted post. However, Kim seemed content with continuing forward, as she was soon romantically linked to and later confirmed to be dating her now ex-boyfriend Pete Davidson. I'm sure you know how these events have played out at this point, and if not, well, you're in for quite the wild ride.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kanye West. After losing his billionaire status due to brand endorsement deals canceling their partnership with Kanye, after he started to spread hate speech across the internet, Kanye would soon be left with only $400 million to his name, which is a far cry from the $1.8 billion he used to be worth in the first half of 2022. To make matters even worse, after his divorce was finalized, he would then be ordered to pay Kim Kardashian another $2.4 million per year, which equals out to be $200,000 a month for child support. He also needs to split the cost of healthcare, security, and educational expenses with his ex-wife in the process. But the money altogether is just really strange, as Kim is already worth $1.7 billion. Not only would Kanye lose a large sum of his money, but he would also lose his $60 million home that he shared with Kim during their settlement altogether after 6 years being married to Kanye. He would ultimately end up losing $2.1 billion in assets that he shared with his ex-wife, which included a mansion in California, in Calabasas, a Miami condo, and 2 ranches in Wyoming, art, vehicles, jewelry, and livestock. Number 9, Amber Heard. When Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016 after being married to the actor for 15 months, she would later be awarded $7 million in the divorce settlement, which she said was which she said she would be donating to charity. But the process wasn't as clean cut, as the pair's court battles quickly turned ugly as Amber started to spread lies to ruin Johnny's career. The former couple then went on to spend most of 2020 and 2021 in court for a libel case against UK's The Sun. After Depp lost the suit and appeal in 2022, the pair would then return to court for a defamation trial Johnny brought against Amber over a 2018 article she penned for The Washington Post. When the court proceedings for the case kicked off on April 11, 2022, both actors made bombshell allegations of physical, emotional, and mental abuse against each other. On June 1st, 7-person jury then reached a verdict and decided that Johnny proved his ex-wife defamed him. The jury then awarded Johnny with another $15 million in damages, though Amber would only have to pay $10 million due to Virginia law cap on punitive damages. She would win 1 of 3 defamation counts, and she was awarded $2 million in damages. Both parties appealed, but back in December, Amber announced she settled with her ex, and he donated the $1 million he received from her to charity. After all the expense, Amber is now worth negative $6 million. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? So don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8, Wiz Khalifa. While it's honestly pretty easy to look at numbers that were involved in Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's divorce, the numbers alone will make you wince. Thank God the couple had a prenup. Then Wiz Khalifa would have lost more than he was set to lose during their divorce. As per their prenup, Wiz Khalifa would be forced to fork out $1 million to pay Amber Rose, and he would be forced to pay Amber child support payments of $14,800. TMZ would then later report that Wiz was able to keep most of his assets, which included their shared home and 10 of their cars. It's also worth noting that there wasn't any hard feelings between the pair, as after their divorce they were both seen celebrating together in an X-rated club for one final hurrah. Number 7, Steven Spielberg. Just because Steven Spielberg was the greatest director alive, it didn't mean that he was immune to problems with his love life. At the height of his career in 1985, Steven probably made the biggest mistake of his life when he didn't make Amy Irving sign a proper prenup before marrying the actress. Amy, being known best for her role in Carrie, was considered to be one of the best actors of her generation. Even before the pair got married, they had a pretty rocky relationship, and at one point they had this pretty messy breakup that even caused Amy to lose out on a major role in Indiana Jones. The two finally did reconnect and got married in 1985, but by the time they filed for divorce and finalized everything, Steven would be ordered to pay Amy a large sum of $100 million, as at this time the judge saw it fit because the popular director was worth over $1 billion. So you're probably wondering how the actress was able to obtain so much money. Well, because when Steven wrote the prenup, he did it on a napkin, and the judge ruled out that the napkin document wasn't legally valid. Number 6, Janet Jackson. So we clearly live in a society that favors men. And if you really think about it, when we think of men in a divorce, we usually think that they're the ones that have to pay big when it comes to expenses. But apparently gender knows no bounds when it comes to money and fame, as some of the biggest female stars have lost millions of dollars during their split with their partner. When Janet Jackson secretly got married to songwriter Renee Elizondo in 1991, it was kind of a really big shock for everyone when he filed for a divorce in 1999. While many suspected that the pair had gotten married at some point, no one realized it was for that long and that it could fall apart also behind closed doors, especially since he was always around, with Renee producing some of her biggest hits, directing some of her music videos, and even using his hand to cover Janet on her infamous Rolling Stone cover shot. No one would know that later Janet would lose millions after the divorce was finalized. Renee filed to question its validity and ended up walking away from the marriage with a whopping sum of $10 million. Number 5, Scott Disick. Back in 2022, tensions between Scott Disick and the Kardashian-Jenner family would be at an all-time high after Scott took it upon himself to discuss the current situation going on with him and Kourtney, and his expression would also linger over how he felt about his family as a whole. The whole situation would come after Scott was left fuming because the family chose to leave him out of family events, something they've never chosen to do before. On an episode of the Kardashians, fans would see Scott letting all of his feelings loose by telling the entire Kardashian family how he really feels about being left out of the family events. When Kris invited Scott to a diner for brunch, she would tell him that they were celebrating her birthday there because she was trying to spare Scott's feelings, because she was actually having a bigger party at her new home and didn't invite him. While Kris was lying to Scott, he quickly caught on that Kris was being untruthful with him. It would then quickly come out that she was having a party and didn't want to invite Scott because Kourtney and Travis would be there. Scott would then be very emotional because he felt like Kris was no longer treating him like family because he was no longer with Kourtney. To make matters even worse, Kendall left him out of her birthday festivities, and Scott having no family, he would be left feeling heartbroken that his only family has completely abandoned him. I'm mostly disappointed in Khloe in this situation, as she's had such a close relationship with Scott, and it's to the point that she just threw him to the side like he was nothing. Number 4. Harrison Ford. Once upon a time, Harrison Ford was married to Melissa Matheson, and they were the poster child of what people used to use as proof to explain that Hollywood stars could stick it out and make a long and happy marriage work. But unfortunately, all things good come to an end. After 21 years of marriage, when the two shocked the world and filed for divorce, Melissa would then walk away with not only just $85 million, but she would also walk away with a percentage of all future royalty earnings from films made during their marriage. This included his earnings that he made in the Indiana Jones franchise. The pair had met in 1979 on the set of Apocalypse Now. Melissa was working on a script and he had a small role, but it's surprising that Melissa was able to walk away with so much money. She was pretty successful on her own, as she was famous for writing E.T. for Steven Spielberg. While we all thought the couple were in love, we all failed to realize that things took a rocky turn for the couple in the last years of their relationship, with the trial separation and a lot of late night bar hopping for Harrison Ford. Number 3. Madonna. It's not like Madonna's ex-husband Guy Ritchie wasn't successful, as he's the man responsible for Sherlock Holmes and Snatch. However, he just wasn't as successful as Madonna, so he took everything he could get. When the pair first headed towards divorce court, it wasn't really a big surprise that he would ask to receive a pretty huge sum of money, because the guy was pretty much a gold digger from the start. Also, the pair did have a pretty rocky 7-year marriage. At one point during the time together, Madonna even pointed out that she was feeling incarcerated by Ritchie, as she felt like Ritchie was really interfering with her potential as an artist, and it was one of the reasons behind why she felt like the marriage had to go down. In the process, if Madonna knew how much her freedom would cost, she probably wouldn't have gotten married to Ritchie, as near the end she reportedly had to pay him $85 million in a divorce settlement. But honestly, if you have to take someone for that much money, it really says a lot about you, especially if you're a man taking that much money from a hardworking woman. Number 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's no big surprise that Maria Shriver would file for divorce from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, after she found out not only was he having an affair, but he was also having an affair with the help, and he even had a child with her. Among one of the most trickiest separations Hollywood has ever seen, 4 years after Maria filed for divorce, they would still be officially married, as sources would claim Arnold just kept delaying the inevitable. Maybe he knew that there was no way he was walking away from this divorce without paying big, and really, he would be right, since the pair did not have a prenup according to California law, which meant that Maria was entitled to half of his fortune. Feeling bad about the whole thing and how it ended, Arnold then threw in some extra cash as a good gesture. The exact number was never officially released, but estimates put Arnold's fortune around $500 million to $750 million, which means Maria likely got a huge settlement around $250 to $375 million. And coming in number 1 today, we have Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan got divorced to his first wife, Juanita Benoit, he paid one of the largest amounts we've seen someone ever pay in a divorce settlement. Shortly after the pair got married in 1989, they signed a post-nuptial agreement that would grant Juanita half of Jordan's fortune in a divorce. That means when the couple decided to go their separate ways in 2006, Juanita ended up receiving a whopping amount of $168 million. She also got their Chicago mansion, custody of their kids. However, after that many years, there's clearly a lot of respect between the two and they had no hard feelings. As when their divorce ended, it was clean and fair, and none of them aired out their dirty laundry to the press or public. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Brad Pitt. It seems like Angelina Jolie is on a mission to ruin Brad Pitt's career, just like Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. Back in 2022, people obtained a reacted FBI report that Angelina anonymously submitted a Freedom of Information Act request. In the documents, the actress alleged to the authorities that while Brad was under the influence, he was menacing towards her and 6 of their kids on September 14th, 2016 during a flight from France to Los Angeles. The investigation would then be closed by November of 2022, and no charges were ever pursued, but that hasn't stopped Angelina from submitting more claims to the media. A source even close to Brad has claimed that both Brad and Angelina have had the documents in question for years, and by Angelina submitting the documents, it means that she is trying to revive issues that were solved to hurt Brad's career. With the documents being filed with evidence that wasn't really accurate or proven, Brad has been lucky enough to escape Angelina's hands of destruction for now, but it seems like she doesn't want to give up just yet, and we could see her ruin his career very shortly. Number 9. Tyga. At one point, there wasn't a song people didn't know when it came to Tyga's career, but after he and Kylie Jenner split, it seems like a lot of people chose to abandon Tyga altogether, which is pretty sad as he's an amazing artist. It seems like now when his songs do come on, everybody in the room goes, oh my god, I forgot about this song, and it proves after his relationship ended with Kylie, he became pretty irrelevant. Even back in 2017, Kylie reportedly had to ask Kanye West to help Tyga with his stalling career because she saw her ex was struggling after the split and she felt really bad for him. An inside source close to Kylie would then reveal to Hollywood Life that Kylie doesn't want to see her ex fall apart just because they weren't together. Once Kylie realized that Tyga's career was stalling after their breakup, she was a little concerned, so she reached out to Kanye to see what they could do to revive Tyga's career. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Rupert Saunders. When British director Rupert Saunders was chosen to direct Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like a start of a pretty promising career for Rupert. But just weeks after the film lackluster theatrical debut, he and Kristen Stewart were captured in a compromising position together. While both came out to issue public apologies about the affair, as Kristen cheated on her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, Rupert was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross. While Kristen's career was able to continue on throughout the scandal, it would take Rupert years to secure a second feature of his directorial gig with his 2017 Ghost in a Shell, which was crushed by critics, by the way. At the time, he was also still imploring the public to forgive and forget, but even when he came out to say, everyone makes mistakes and I am bound to make many more mistakes and I wouldn't expect my life to be exciting if I didn't, people still couldn't forgive and forget, and it's caused his art in the directing field to come to a complete halt. Number 7. Kris Humphries. It seems like if you enter into the Kardashian family, in even the smallest of capacities, your reputation is at risk. I mean, just ask Jordan Woods and Scott Disick. But if you need more proof, you can always look at the long list of ex-friends, ex-stylists, ex-boyfriends, and ex-husbands. And this is exactly what happened to NBA star Kris Humphries, who became a laughingstock of both Hollywood and the basketball scene after his highly publicized marriage to Kim Kardashian ended after just 72 days. Just after, in December 2011, Kris would find himself being booed during basketball games, and he would be put into a position where he bounced from team to team before landing with the Philadelphia 76ers, but his time with the team wouldn't last long as he would be waived from their roster in October 2017. And that would be the last time Kris would professionally dribble a basketball on the court. That same year, Kim would then sit down in an interview with Watch What Happens Live where she would admit that she knew while she was on her honeymoon with Kris that their relationship wasn't going to work out. Now it seems like Kris has found a new passion in life as he co-owns several Five Guy burger shops and is a franchisee of a salad eatery. Number 6. Robin Thicke. After Robin Thicke dominated the charts for the entire summer of 2013 with his hit single Blurred Lines, Robin's career essentially died overnight after his wife wife Paula Patton filed for divorce in October 2014, citing irreconcilable differences as the cause for their split. According to TMZ, Robin tried to win back Paula by releasing his sappy album Paula in 2014, but it was apparently a flop with its namesake and his fans, as the album only sold 530 copies in its debut week in the UK. And from there, things only got worse for Robin, as months after filing to the end of their marriage, Paula not only accused Robin of cheating on her with several different women, but she also accused him of physical and emotional abuse, infidelity, and even said he had an addiction to substances. Then during the couple's bitter custody battle for their son Julian, Paula then asked the court to grant her a temporary restraining order against Robin, which was ultimately granted until the courts ordered them to have shared custody of their son. Number 5. Meg Ryan. During Meg Ryan's heyday, she was one of America's most in-demand screen sweethearts, as she went on to nab the romantic lead in a slew of successful pictures that included Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, and You Got Mail. But just as she was rising to the top to be the girl next door, her image would be shattered after rumors started to claim that she was having an affair with Proof of Life co-star Russell Crowe. The tabloid's frenzied affair was then publicly perceived as the reason for her divorce from her husband of 9 years, and what led to the serious decline in her popularity. Later, Meg would deny her fling with Russell for being the reason behind her divorce when she told Harper Bazaar, "I definitely have moments of wanting to straighten it all out and tell everyone what really went down, but you know, who would I be proving anything to?" Though there may be plenty of blame to go around, Meg's affair was the beginning of the end of her career, and her household name would be left behind in the 90s. And number 4, we have Ryan Philippe. Ryan Philippe's relationship with Reese Witherspoon was intense when the pair starred as the romantic leads in the 1999 romantic drama Cruel Intentions, and attracted a generation of followers deeply invested in the couple's marriage and their 2 kids. Many thought their love would be a happily ever after, but when their union fell apart 8 years later, many fans would be furious after rumors emerged and claimed that Ryan had cheated on Reese. That very same year, Ryan allegedly stepped out with his stop-loss co-star, Abby Cornish. Even though Reese and Ryan went on to be successful co-parents for their kids, Ryan's career hasn't quite revived from all the negative press associated with the pair's breakup. And seemingly overnight, he lost the Hollywood heartthrob status he once boasted in films such as I Know What You Did Last Summer and Flags of Our Fathers. Since Ryan has grown weary of the public's cruel criticism, he once told Howard Stern in 2010 that he was tired of being blamed and that he didn't feel like he deserved all the scrutiny as things just happen. Number 3. Jude Law. Jude Law's affair with his children's nanny became a true celebrity spectacle after the actor's secret went public in 2005. It would eventually cause his team to force him to issue an apology to his then fiancée, Sienna Miller, for the affair. In his apology, he would say, "I just want to say I'm deeply ashamed and upset I've hurt Sienna and the people close to us. There is no defense for my action, which I sincerely regret." While this wouldn't be the first time he's been accused of infidelity with his partners in the past, the high-profile nature of his relationship with Miller caused more damage to Jude's career, as before his transgressions, Jude enjoyed an A-list status in leading roles such as Cold Mountain and Closer. But after the affair, it took him many years to recoup his mainstream appeal by the way of Sherlock Holmes. While his career seems to be doing just fine these days, it's probably just because he's been keeping his personal life pretty low-key. Number 2. Tiger Woods. Few professional golfers have earned the kind of household name status of Tiger Woods, and even fewer have watched their reputations fade away as they sunk into the mud like Tiger did in 2009, after his extramarital affairs were exposed, after Tiger's wife at the time, Ellen Nordegren, gave birth to the couple's second child. The tabloids would unearth one of Tiger's relationships with another woman. After Tiger lost his family-friendly face, he would lose millions in endorsement endorsement deals, and he was even to blame for billions of shareholder losses. Even his golf game suffered as a result of his personal drama. Back in 2013, Woods would briefly recover his career, but his personal activities tarnished his image again after new allegations surfaced and claimed he cheated on beloved Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn. And while most of the public has forgotten about Tiger's past transgressions, it seems like his reputation may still be holding him back from success. And coming in number 1 today, we have Ned Fulmer. So ex-BuzzFeed employee Ned Fulmer is known because of his role with the popular YouTube channel The Try Guys, as he helped them grow an audience to tune of millions on BuzzFeed's publication platform before he and his colleagues decided to go independent. In addition to the cheating, entertaining content with his colleagues, Ned went on to brand himself as the ultimate family guy just after he and his wife Ariel marked their 5th anniversary in 2017. He shared that he had no doubt about picking her as his partner, as it was love at first sight. However, in September 2022, Ned would prove otherwise, as just over 10 years after the couple tied the knot, the house that Ned built came tumbling down, as it would be exposed that Ned had cheated on his wife with a member of the staff. The cheating allegation was then later confirmed by Ned himself when he put out an Instagram statement saying, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship." The Try Guys then went on to remove Ned from the platform and later announced that Ned wouldn't be making any appearances on the pre-recorded material going forward.
Number 10, Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary Pardon Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell then later said Katy being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore. Number 8, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Now, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's breakup has been one of the messiest breakups Hollywood has ever seen, mainly because they're split back in 2016, and the drama is still going on. Now, with Brad Pitt recently opening up about his life after the messy split from Angelina, it makes you question, what kind of person is Angelina Jolie really? Angelina would file for divorce from Brad Pitt following a heated altercation during a private plane ride. The flight would lead her to accuse Brad of a and during this time period, he would spend time at the studio to work on his art skills. Now, his artwork has allowed him to focus on his life and where it's all gone wrong with his relationship. It also allowed the actor to realize which friendships made him feel safe. Now, Angelina and Brad are currently involved in a court battle in which Angelina has brought up some serious accusations against Brad. Despite the two finalizing their divorce back in 2019, the two remain in a custody battle over their French winery. At number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter
later to say, "It's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with." Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have J-Lo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when J-Lo was going to settle down with A-Rod, and then it never happened? Shortly after J-Lo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All J-Lo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Now, the breakup between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber was extremely awkward for the teens because for the longest time, they couldn't seem to quit each other. The pair both started dating on and off from the year 2010 to 2015. They were also seen hanging out just before he got engaged to Hailey Baldwin, which caused a lot of speculation that Hailey stole Justin from Selena. Now, Hailey did come clean in the Call Her Daddy podcast recently to say none of those rumors were true, and that she and Selena were on good terms. The model and singer were also just captured in a photo together at a gala, which shows the two are on good terms with one another. At number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell out of love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children. At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katie had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katie then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katie want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface. Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars, to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye.
Number 10, Liza Koshy and David Dobrik. I remember the cultural reset this announcement caused. I mean, at first I thought it was a joke. There was no way that these two would ever break up. Well, you know, it wasn't a joke. And thank goodness, because after their breakup, Liza's career skyrocketed and David's, well, you know David. The two started dating in 2015 on the rise of both of their YouTube fame. David and his vlog squad, and Liza with the colorful array of characters she manufactured herself. They would frequently appear in each other's videos and were definitely one of the happiest seeming couples. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. In 2018, the infamous breakup video dropped. The pair said that their breakup was amicable and that they had decided a couple months prior that they would simply be better off as platonic friends. Number 9. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. This star-powered pair first met in 2004 while filming their movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, while Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston. Rumors of a relationship began to circle on set, and shortly after the movie, Pitt and Aniston announced their separation after 5 years of marriage. By July of 2005, the pair was spotted together and confirmed their relationship. 10 years after meeting, the two got married in 2014. However, you could call their wedding the calm before the storm. Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences and providing no comments to news outlets or prying eyes, which she did for the privacy of her family. She's an amazing mother and a fantastic woman. Icon for life, honestly. Number 8. Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder. Ian Somerhalder and Nina Dobrev shared the screen for 6 seasons as Damon Salvatore and Elena Gilbert on The Vampire Diaries. Interestingly, their on-screen chemistry extended to real life as they became romantically involved from 2010 to 2013, despite Dobrev's initial intention to maintain a strictly professional approach on set. In an interview with 17 in October 2012, Dobrev confessed that she resisted the idea of dating a co-star, but acknowledged that sometimes connections were inevitable. Throughout their relationship, the couple kept a relatively low profile, occasionally giving glimpses of their romance during trips and music festivals. Despite parting ways in 2013, they managed to sustain both a professional and personal connection after the breakup. Number 7. Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter. Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter shared a unique and definitely eccentric partnership, both in their professional and romantic lives. Their collaboration began on the set of Planet of the Apes in 2001 and extended to 8 films, including some of my favorite movies like Corpse Bride and Todd. Despite their long collaboration and personal connection, the couple chose not to marry, opting for a distinctive living arrangement in London's Belsize Park. They maintained separate houses, joined by a hallway, with Bonham Carter revealing in 2010 that the decision was due to the small size of her home. She explained that the arrangement of separate living allowed them to balance togetherness with personal space, jokingly adding that Burton's snoring was a noteworthy aspect of their unconventional housing situation. While their professional collaboration was incredible and extremely successful, Bonham Carter still acknowledged that it wasn't always smooth sailing. In an interview, she admitted that her working relationship had its challenges, particularly during the filming of Sweeney Todd, where the two were known to often argue. The couple, parents to 2, eventually separated in 2014, ending their extraordinary cinematic and personal journey together. Number 6. Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson, an iconic couple from 2008 to 2011, shared a very high-profile marriage before parting ways. In a candid interview with Time Out New York in December 2009, Johansson disclosed the challenges of balancing their hectic schedules. She emphasized the difficulties in their respective profession and the struggle to allocate time for family amidst their demanding careers. This revelation must have marked a turning point as the couple officially announced their separation in 2010, finalizing their divorce in July of 2011. While the end of their marriage was undoubtedly a significant chapter, it paved the way for personal and professional growth for both of them. Post-divorce, Ryan Reynolds found love anew, tying the knot with Blake Lively in 2012, and thank goodness, because they're my favorite celebrity couple. They are so funny and their tweets are so, I love them. They make me believe in love. Is that sad? I don't know. I have divorced parents, whatever. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson entered a new chapter by marrying Saturday Night Live head writer Colin Jost in 2020. It was a happy ending for everyone. Number 5. Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, once the epitome of a relaxed and harmonious couple, revealed their separation in 2022, marking the end of their nearly 17-year-long relationship. The couple, known for prioritizing their blended family, included Bonet's ex-husband Lenny Kravitz and daughter Zoe Kravitz, along with their shared children Lola and Nakoa Wolf. Momoa had long harbored admiration for Bonet, dating back to his childhood when he first saw her on The Cosby Show. Their paths crossed in 2005 at a jazz club, and the pair welcomed their first child together 2 years later. Despite keeping their marriage under wraps until 2017, the couple stunned fans by announcing their separation after nearly 5 years of marriage in January 2022. Insiders revealed that the decision to part ways was not abrupt, emphasizing that the couple had been amazing for years until they no longer were. Number 4. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. After a 4-year marriage and the birth of 2 children, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner decided to end their relationship. The formalities of their separation were set in motion when Jonas filed for a dissolution of marriage from Turner on September 5th, 2023, citing irreparable breakdown as the grounds for their parting ways. Addressing the end of their union, the couple took to Instagram the next day to reveal that the decision was a mutual one. Their romantic relationship began in 2016 when Sophie and Jonas connected through Instagram DMs. Despite initial reservations on Turner's part, an evening at a British pub brought them closer, leading to Jonas proposing a year later. In 2019, the couple celebrated their commitment with 2 ceremonies, a surprise event in Las Vegas and a grand affair in the French countryside. Turner once expressed that marriage had only strengthened their bond, providing a profound sense of security. The couple's family grew with the arrival of daughters Willa in 2020 and Delphine in 2022. Despite the joys and public declarations of love, the journey has reached its end and custody battles have ensued, and it doesn't really seem like they're all too happy with each other anymore. Number 3. Amy Poehler and Will Arnett. The paths of actors Amy Poehler and Will Arnett first crossed in the 1990s when Arnett witnessed a performance by Poehler's improv group in New York City, which just, wow, what a sentence. Although Arnett was smitten by Poehler, the two didn't embark on a romantic journey until friends reintroduced them to each other in 2000. Their professional lives became intertwined as they collaborated on various projects, ranging from portraying unconventional siblings in Blades of Glory to making guest appearances on each other's TV shows, Poehler on Parks and Recreation and Arnett on Arrested Development, which, I mean, both hilarious. Those are 2 of my favorite shows, especially Arrested Development, because Will Arnett's character Joe, fantastic, fantastic. In 2003, the couple exchanged vows, marking Poehler's inaugural marriage and Arnett's second after a brief stint with Penelope Ann Miller. The union blossomed into a family with the arrival of their 2 sons, Archie and Abel. Despite parting ways in 2012, Poehler and Arnett remained dedicated co-parents, retaining an amicable relationship. God, they must have been so funny together. What I would do to have been to a dinner party. That is, oh, be so good. Okay. Number 2. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. This amazing pair initially crossed paths as co-stars in The Amazing Spider-Man, where they co-starred as Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, where they experienced a real-life romance mirroring their on-screen connection. Over a span of 4 years, they navigated their relationship through the filming of another Spider-Man installment and embarked on a global journey together for press. Despite their eventual breakup and subsequent individual pursuits, with Stone now happily married with a child and Garfield romantically linked to model Alyssa Miller, the bond they share endures. Retaining a genuine friendship, the 2 openly express their continued affection and admiration for one another. In a 2016 interview with Vogue, Stone conveyed that Garfield remains someone I still love very much. Garfield reciprocated the sentiment the following year in Vanity Fair, emphasizing the abundance of love and respect between them, asserting himself as her biggest fan as an artist. Oh, and his shot of espresso speech could bring me to tears. I would fold immediately if anyone ever spoke to me that way, or of me, I guess. Number 1. Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez. In October 2023, the divorce of Dalton and Ari was finalized, which followed their publicized separation in July of last year. Oh my god, and it's last year now, that's insane. Grande and Gomez's relationship began during 2020 as they spent a considerable amount of time together, nurturing their connection. Despite the challenges posed by the global state at this time, Gomez proposed to Grande in December of 2020. On May 17th, 2021, it was confirmed confirmed that Grande and Gomez had secretly exchanged vows in their California home. Unfortunately, their union came to an end shortly after their 2-year anniversary mark. By July 20th, 2023, reports emerged that Grande had entered a new romantic chapter with her Wicked co-star in Slater. Sources disclosed that Grande and Slater began dating after her separation from Dalton in January. The relationship was described as recent, marked by fun and enjoyment of each other's company, although there was no official confirmation or announcement of a separation or divorce involving Slater and his wife beyond People's initial report.
Number 10, Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary, Part of Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell then later said Katy being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore. Number 8, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Now, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's breakup has been one of the messiest breakups Hollywood has ever seen, mainly because they're split back in 2016, and the drama is still going on. Now, with Brad Pitt recently opening up about his life after the messy split from Angelina, it makes you question what kind of person is Angelina Jolie really? Angelina would file for divorce from Brad Pitt following a heated altercation during a private plane ride. The flight would lead her to accuse Brad of a and during this time period, he would spend time at the studio to work on his art skills. Now, his artwork has allowed him to focus on his life and where it's all gone wrong with his relationship. It also allowed the actor to realize which friendships made him feel safe. Now, Angelina and Brad are currently involved in a court battle in which Angelina has brought up some serious accusations against Brad. Despite the two finalizing their divorce back in 2019, the two remain in a custody battle over their French winery. At number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter to say it's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with. Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have J-Lo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when J-Lo was going to settle down with A-Rod and then it never happened? Shortly after J-Lo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All J-Lo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Now, the breakup between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber was extremely awkward for the teens because for the longest time, they couldn't seem to quit each other. The pair both started dating on and off from the year 2010 to 2015. They were also seen hanging out just before he got engaged to Hailey Baldwin, which caused a lot of speculation that Hailey stole Justin from Selena. Now, Hailey did come clean in the Call Her Daddy podcast recently to say none of those rumors were true, and that she and Selena were on good terms. The model and singer were also just captured in a photo together at a gala, which shows the two are on good terms with one another. At number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell in love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children. At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katie had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katie then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katie want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface. Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kanye West. After losing his billionaire status due to brand endorsement deals canceling their partnership with Kanye, after he started to spread hate speech across the internet, Kanye would soon be left with only $400 million to his name, which is a far cry from the $1.8 billion he used to be worth in the first half of 2022. To make matters even worse, after his divorce was finalized, he would then be ordered to pay Kim Kardashian another $2.4 million per year, which equals out to be $200,000 a month for child support. He also needs to split the cost of healthcare, security, and educational expenses with his ex-wife in the process. But the money altogether is just really strange, as Kim is already worth $1.7 billion. Not only would Kanye lose a large sum of his money, but he would also lose his $60 million home that he shared with Kim during their settlement. Altogether, after 6 years being married to Kanye, he would ultimately end up losing $2.1 billion in assets that he shared with his ex-wife, which included a mansion in California, in Calabasas, a Miami condo, and 2 ranches in Wyoming, art, vehicles, jewelry, and livestock. Number 9, Amber Heard. When Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016 after being married to the actor for 15 months, she would later be awarded $7 million in the divorce settlement, which she said was which she said she would be donating to charity. But the process wasn't as clean-cut, as the pair's court battles quickly turned ugly as Amber started to spread lies to ruin Johnny's career. The former couple then went on to spend most of 2020 and 2021 in court for a libel case against UK's The Sun. After Depp lost the suit in appeal in 2022, the pair would then return to court for a defamation trial Johnny brought against Amber over a 2018 article she penned for the Washington Post. When the court proceedings for the case kicked off on April 11, 2022, both actors made bombshell allegations of physical, emotional, and mental abuse against each other. On June 1st, a 7-person jury then reached a verdict and decided that Johnny proved his ex-wife defamed him. The jury then awarded Johnny with another $15 million in damages, though Amber would only have to pay $10 million due to Virginia law cap on punitive damages. She would win 1 of 3 defamation counts, and she was awarded $2 million in damages. Both parties appealed, but back in December, Amber announced she settled with her ex, and he donated the $1 million he received from her to charity. After all the expense, Amber is now worth negative $6 million. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? So don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8, Wiz Khalifa. While it's honestly pretty easy to look at numbers that were involved in Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's divorce, the numbers alone will make you wince. Thank God the couple had a prenup. Then Wiz Khalifa would have lost more than he was set to lose during their divorce. As per their prenup, Wiz Khalifa would be forced to fork out $1 million to pay Amber Rose, and he would be forced to pay Amber child support payments of $14,800. TMZ would then later report that Wiz was able to keep most of his assets, which included their shared home and 10 of their cars. It's also worth noting that there wasn't any hard feelings between the pair, as after their divorce they were both seen celebrating together in an X-rated club for one final hurrah. Number 7, Steven Spielberg. Just because Steven Spielberg was the greatest director alive, it didn't mean that he was immune to problems with his love life. At the height of his career in 1985, Steven probably made the biggest mistake of his life when he didn't make Amy Irving sign a proper prenup before marrying the actress. Amy, being known best for her role in Carrie, was considered to be one of the best actors of her generation. Even before the pair got married, they had a pretty rocky relationship, and at one point they had this pretty messy breakup that even caused Amy to lose out on a major role in Indiana Jones. The two finally did reconnect and got married in 1985, but by the time they filed for divorce and finalized everything, Steven would be ordered to pay Amy a large sum of $100 million, as at this time the judge saw it fit because the popular director was worth over $1 billion. So you're probably wondering how the actress was able to obtain so much money. Well, because when Steven wrote the prenup, he did it on a napkin, and the judge ruled out that the napkin document wasn't legally valid. Number 6, Janet Jackson. So we clearly live in a society that favors men. But if you really think about it, when we think of men in a divorce, we usually think that they're the ones that have to pay big when it comes to expenses. But apparently gender knows no bounds when it comes to money and fame, as some of the biggest female stars have lost millions of dollars during their split with their partner. When Janet Jackson secretly got married to songwriter Renee Elizondo in 1991, it was kind of a really big shock for everyone when he filed for a divorce in 1999. While many suspected that the pair had gotten married at some point, no one realized it was for that long and that it could fall apart also behind closed doors, especially since he was always around, with Renee producing some of her biggest hits, directing some of her music videos, and even using his hand to cover Janet on her infamous Rolling Stone cover shot. No one would know that later Janet would lose millions after the divorce was finalized. Renee filed to question its validity and ended up walking away from the marriage with a whopping sum of $10 million. Number 5, Scott Disick. Back in 2022, tensions between Scott Disick and the Kardashian-Jenner family would be at an all-time high after Scott took it upon himself to discuss the current situation going on with him and Kourtney, and his expression would also linger over how he felt about his family as a whole. The whole situation would come after Scott was left fuming because the family chose to leave him out of family events, something they've never chosen to do before. On an episode of the Kardashians, fans would see Scott letting all of his feelings loose by telling the entire Kardashian family how he really feels about being left out of the family events. When Kris invited Scott to a diner for brunch, she would tell him that they were celebrating her birthday there because she was trying to spare Scott's feelings, because she was actually having a bigger party at her new home and didn't invite him. While Kris was lying to Scott, he quickly caught on that Kris was being untruthful with him. It would then quickly come out that she was having a party and didn't want to invite Scott because Kourtney and Travis would be there. Scott would then be very emotional because he felt like Kris was no longer treating him like family because he was no longer with Kourtney. To make matters even worse, Kendall left him out of her birthday festivities, and Scott having no family, he would be left feeling heartbroken that his only family has completely abandoned him. I'm mostly disappointed in Khloe in this situation, as she's had such a close relationship with Scott, and it's to the point that she just threw him to the side like he was nothing. Number 4, Harrison Ford. Once upon a time, Harrison Ford was married to Melissa Mathison, and they were the poster child of what people used to use as proof to explain that Hollywood stars could stick it out and make a long and happy marriage work. But unfortunately, all things good come to an end. After 21 years of marriage, when the two shocked the world and filed for divorce, Melissa would then walk away with not only just $85 million, but she would also walk away with a percentage of all future royalty earnings from films made during their marriage. This included his earnings that he made in the Indiana Jones franchise. The pair had met in 1979 on the set of Apocalypse Now. Melissa was working on a script and he had a small role. But it's surprising that Melissa was able to walk away with so much money. She was pretty successful on her own, as she was famous for writing E.T. for Steven Spielberg. While we all thought the couple were in love, we all failed to realize that things took a rocky turn for the couple in the last years of their relationship, with the trial separation and a lot of late night bar hopping for Harrison Ford. Number 3, Madonna. It's not like Madonna's ex-husband Guy Ritchie wasn't successful, as he's the man responsible for Sherlock Holmes and Snatch. However, he just wasn't as successful as Madonna, so he took everything he could get. When the pair first headed towards divorce court, it wasn't really a big surprise that he would ask to receive a pretty huge sum of money, because the guy was pretty much a gold digger from the start. Also, the pair did have a pretty rocky 7-year marriage. At one point during the time together, Madonna even pointed out that she was feeling incarcerated by Ritchie, as she felt like Ritchie was really interfering with her potential as an artist, and it was one of the reasons behind why she felt like the marriage had to go down. In the process, if Madonna knew how much her freedom would cost, she probably wouldn't have gotten married to Ritchie, as near the end she reportedly had to pay him $85 million in a divorce settlement. But honestly, if you have to take someone for that much money, it really says a lot about you, especially if you're a man taking that much money from a hardworking woman. Number 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's no big surprise that Maria Shriver would file for divorce from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, after she found out not only was he having an affair, but he was also having an affair with the help, and he even had a child with her. Among one of the most trickiest separations Hollywood has ever seen, 4 years after Maria filed for divorce, they would still be officially married, as sources would claim Arnold just kept delaying the inevitable. Maybe he knew that there was no way he was walking away from this divorce without paying big, and really, he would be right, since the pair did not have a prenup according to California law, which meant that Maria was entitled to half of his fortune. Feeling bad about the whole thing and how it ended, Arnold then threw in some extra cash as a good gesture. The exact number was never officially released, but estimates put Arnold's fortune around $500 million to $750 million, which means Maria likely got a huge settlement around $250 to $375 million. And coming in number 1 today, we have Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan got divorced to his first wife, Juanita Benoit, he paid one of the largest amounts we've seen someone ever pay in a divorce settlement. Shortly after the pair got married in 1989, they signed a post-nuptial agreement that would grant Juanita half of Jordan's fortune in a divorce. That means when the couple decided to go their separate ways in 2000, 2006, Juanita ended up receiving a whopping amount of $168 million. She also got their Chicago mansion, custody of their kids. However, after that many years, there's clearly a lot of respect between the two and they had no hard feelings, as when their divorce ended, it was clean and fair and none of them aired out their dirty laundry to the press or public.
We should have known that Miley and Liam wouldn't last. Miley has always been a firecracker of a woman, and Liam has always felt more like chill. They were a really cute couple though. They starred in the film The Last Song together in 2009, that's also how they met. They dated for a bit in 2009, then broke up in 2010, then got back together later in the year, then break up, just as usual, like an on again, off again kind of deal. They did get engaged in 2012, but it wasn't exactly smooth sailing. There were lots of rumors that the pair had broken up, the wedding got postponed until eventually the whole thing was called off. In this break is when Miley tweeted the famous, "I want to see the new Hunger Games, but that means I'll have to look at my ex for 2 hours" tweet. I love this tweet. This is referencing Liam's role as Gale in the Hunger Games trilogy. The pair eventually got back together in 2016 and got engaged again, and then finally in 2018 are married. Even this new chapter of this relationship had some signs. There was that video from the Avengers Endgame red carpet where Liam said something to Miley that caused her to push him off. Many people think he said something like, "Could you behave for once?" The pair divorced a few months after this carpet. Without Miley Cyrus dating Liam Hemsworth, we never would have gotten the banger Flowers, and Miley never would have received her first Grammy, so it all worked out in the end. Technically, Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy never confirmed they dated, but they were seen out together a lot. And Taylor's relationship announcements have never been a big, "Hello world, we are dating." It's always been more speculation until it's a couple months in, then she'll give hints and do public displays. Maddie and Taylor were only seen around each other for about a month to maybe 2 months. Before this, the pair were just friends, we know that for sure. People thought the pair were dating because they were spotted out at a bunch of restaurants. Taylor randomly performed at a 1975 concert, and Maddie was spotted at the Eras tour a few nights. This is also similar to what happened with Travis Kelce and Joe Alwyn, minus the surprise performance of course, so that's why everyone was looking at this pair extra close. The thing is, Maddie Healy has an on-stage persona that is controversial to say the least. He famously did the Yahtzee with an N salute on stage. It was supposed to be satire, apparently. He also made some racially insensitive remarks about Ice Spice, who is friends with Taylor and collaborated with her on Karma. Taylor and Maddie were rumored to be dating way back in 2014, around Taylor's 1989 era. It also produced a quote from Maddie that came back to haunt him. He said it would be emasculating to date Taylor. Taylor's fans were not the happiest about this particular relationship, and because of this, Taylor and Maddie stopped appearing in public together pretty quick. We still don't know if they were actually dating or not. I guess we'll never know. Billie Eilish and Jesse Rutherford started dating in 2022, first seen together in a romantic setting on October 13th. People were quick to comment on their age gap and also Billie's young age in general. They have a 10-year age gap, and Billie was about 20 or 21 when they started dating, but they had known each other since she was 15 years old at least. Lots of people saw that as a little weird. Their Halloween costume from 2022 had people talking. All the comments people made about their age gap, they seemed to use as inspiration, with Billie going as a baby and Jesse as an old man. Many people thought it was a weird choice. So there's a lot of criticism towards this couple from the outside, but there were also signs from the inside too. On her 2021 album, Happier Than Ever, Billie has a track called Your Power. It is about people taking advantage of younger people in relationships and those with power over someone else using it to their advantage to hurt the other person in some way. Of course, this is just what fans have gathered from the lyrics. The song features lyrics like, "She was sleeping in your clothes, but now she's got to get to class," and "You swear you didn't know, you said you thought she was your age." The song was released about a year before Jesse came into the picture, and many people expressed that fact, wondering why Billie got into a relationship with such a big age gap when she's seemingly written that she wasn't fond of them. The pair were only together for about 8 months, but are on good terms, as confirmed by Billie on her Instagram story. Like Billie and Jesse, Olivia Rodrigo was also in a relationship that had people looking twice at the age gap. This one wasn't as bad, I guess, but it still was amazing by any means. She was 18 when they started dating and he was 24, so only 6 years. While that's not as big of a gap as we've seen elsewhere, it's not small either, and many Olivia fans were concerned as the pair were first spotted out together in June and Olivia had just turned 18 a few months ago. It was all around just a situation that rubbed people the wrong way. So again, this couple has a lot of outside pressure and criticism against them, plus Olivia Rodrigo is a major Taylor Swift fan, that is no secret. Taylor famously dated, then allegedly wrote her album Speak Now about John Mayer. That relationship was also one with a big age gap, with the girl being very young. Maybe Olivia heard Taylor's warnings in the songs. The two leading stars of the Disney Channel original film High School Musical, Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron, famously dated. This was the Brangelina of my childhood. I remember learning about what actors were, and then learning that not only was my favorite couple dating in the movie, but also in real life. They were like the royal family to me. Still, they were so young when they met and started dating, plus they weren't your regular small town high school sweethearts. They lived in Hollywood. They were making movies. Being that young and probably having to spend so much time apart would put a strain on any relationship. Zac and Vanessa were together about 5 years before calling it quits. E! News had some inside sources confirm the breakup wasn't dramatic like the scenes from the movies, nothing like Gotta Go My Own Way from High School Musical 2. The Insider also noted that they were together for so long it just ran its course. Disney has a track record of encouraging the stars of their various shows and movies to date. It happened with Dove Cameron and her ex Ryan McCartan, Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato. Zac and Vanessa were both 18 while filming High School Musical, and there was all this outside pressure and even proposal rumors that would be enough to put a lot of strain on the relationship. Luckily, it looks like the pair are still on good terms. Vanessa just announced her pregnancy in the Oscars red carpet, then later posted about it on Instagram. Zac commented, "She's killing it. I couldn't be happier for V. Zanessa, you will always be famous." Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling worked together on the iconic film The Notebook and soon brought that chemistry from the silver screen to real life. They dated from 2005 to 2007, but from the beginning their relationship was rocky. Every fan of The Notebook probably remembers the moment they found out that Rachel and Ryan hated each other at the start of filming that movie. Ryan apparently tried to get Rachel fired and even requested that for one scene, Rachel was taken off set and a different actress gets brought in to read her lines. It was serious, okay? Even the director has confirmed that the two did not get along. Movie budgets and timelines are tight though, so there needed to be a fix made here, so apparently Ryan, Rachel, a producer, and the director went in a room together. Ryan and Rachel screamed it out and then they were fine, eventually more than fine. They started dating in 2005, a year after the film came out. They had some pretty iconic moments, for example, when they recreated their iconic Notebook kiss after winning Best Kiss at the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Unfortunately, in 2007, the relationship ended apparently pretty similar to how it started. Ryan said in an interview that "the only thing I remember is we both went down swinging and we called it a draw," adding in a later interview that show business is the bad guy. When both people are in show business, it's too much show business. It takes all of the light so nothing else can grow. That's fair. We should have known that their relationship would go out blazing if that's how it started. Another iconic couple born from iconic roles in an iconic franchise. We are talking about Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, Twilight's Bella and Edward. The pair first met in 2007 but didn't officially start dating until 2009, we think. They kissed in 2009. A producer for Twilight did an interview with Time in 2010 in which he said that he hopes the pair stay together through filming the remainder of the movies. 2 more left, and that's a lot of pressure to put on a relationship. It would suck if you thought a relationship had run its course, but you felt you had to stay together to not mess up a big movie franchise. There was some infidelity on Kristen's part that a former president actually weighed in on. Sure enough, the pair did stay together until just after the last Twilight film came out. Years later, Kristen did say in an interview that she felt her relationship with Robert had been made into a product. So it really shouldn't have come as a surprise that as soon as the franchise was done, the two called it quits. They are both so okay now. Kristen is bi and engaged to screenwriter Dylan Mayer, no relation to Stephanie Meyer, author of Twilight. I did look it up because it was like, there's no way. Robert is also engaged to a woman, the actress and singer Suki Waterhouse. They are expecting a child together. Jelena, the it couple of the 2010s, Selena Gomez was a Disney star and starting up her music career, and Justin Bieber was one of the biggest teen heartthrobs of the era. They dated or were kinda dating for 8 years before shocking the world when they broke up in 2018. But there were signs, probably probably the most neon flashing light sign was that they were so on and off. In the last about 4 years of their relationship, they were taking a lot of breaks. Justin briefly dated now wife Hailey Baldwin during one of those splits. This is kind of like Zach and Vanessa. They were both so young and they had so much pressure on them from the outside. I also remember lots of people were caught up with their age gap. Their age gap was only 2 years. He was 16 when they met and she was 18. It really wasn't that bad. Their love story was an exciting one to follow. Justin literally rented out an entire stadium so the two could watch a movie together. The pair were seen on what is thought to be their first date in 2010. Things went relatively smoothly until 2014. This is the year Justin was arrested and Selena checked into rehab for lupus. They were split up by this point. Justin dates a bunch of models, Selena some other music artists, but then they get seen together again and are apparently back together in 2017. But by 2018, they are really over because Justin gets married. Although Justin apparently, allegedly, called Selena before the wedding 23 times. Obviously, we don't have the tapes to really prove it, but Selena hinted at the then rumor in her song Ring, so it's up to you what you want to think. Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande had a whirlwind of a romance back in 2018. The pair only dated for about 6 months and almost got married, but it didn't start on the most solid foundation, so it's no wonder they didn't last. Pete had been in a relationship with fellow comedian and writer Cassie David before dating Ariana, like a day before Pete first stepped out with Ariana. Pete and Cassie had decided to take a break for about 2 weeks. Cassie called Pete after the first couple days though, saying she wanted to work things out, but he wanted to continue the break. He broke up with her over text 2 days later, then a day after Pete and Ariana were out together. It was a messy timeline, that's for sure, and it did not make Ariana and Pete look too good. Pete and Ariana ended up calling it quits because Ariana wasn't taking the passing of Mac Miller so well, so there wasn't any bad blood in the initial breakup. That came after. Ariana said in Vogue that she considered Pete to be a distraction, and Pete responded equally as publicly in his Netflix comedy special. The entire relationship moved pretty quick. The pair moved in together a month-ish after beginning to date, with the engagement happening around the same time. They just also happened to move quickly into the breakup phase too. Kim and Kanye used to be the top Hollywood couple. Whether you like them or not, you couldn't deny their star power. No marriage is perfect, of course, but they seem to be doing pretty good. So their split came as a bit of a surprise when it was announced in 2021 that the couple was getting divorced. The show Keeping Up with the Kardashians shed some light on why exactly the couple split up, and they make sense. I'm surprised that we, the public, didn't see this coming. Kim shared with her sisters that she does think Kanye is an amazing dad, but he moves around so much and she can't keep up with that side of him. She needs to stay where she is. There was also the harsh and aggressive tweets Kanye directed towards Kim's mom, Kris Jenner. Kanye has always been known to act a bit unhinged. There was the Taylor Swift mic incident at the VMAs that he said God told him to do, manipulating that infamous phone conversation with Taylor Swift, seemingly supportive tweets toward a convicted SA perpetrator, portraying various celebrities nude, some without their consent, and sharing his controversial opinions on the experience of black people in America. There were just a lot of things that make you go, okay Kim, I get it.
And at number 10, Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles. These two have been hot and heavy ever since they were spotted out together at a wedding in January of 2021, with sources saying they were quote affectionate around their friends, held hands, and looked very happy. This couple met on a movie set that Harry is starring in and Olivia is directing, but there are a lot of theories that this might just be a publicity stunt for the movie, and once the movie actually comes out, they're just gonna break up. And I frankly believe this theory. Personally, these two as a match just doesn't really make sense to me, and it feels like everything they do is just for press, but that's just my opinion. And at number 9, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin. These two were on and off for a few years until they decided to officially get back together, then get quickly married. The speed of their union has caused many to think that there were ulterior motives for the marriage, such as Justin needed to get over his ex Selena, or Hailey just wanted to gain clout off of Justin. However, the most recent thing that's raised eyebrows is the video going viral that looks like Justin is screaming at Hailey in public. From the video, it looks clearly like he is very angry with her and yelling at her. However, apparently eyewitnesses claim that that's not what happened and he was basically just telling her a story, but I'm not sure why you would look and act like that if you were just telling a story. I don't know. Personally, it seems like trouble in paradise to me. And at number 8, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. These two became a couple officially in January of this year, and to say that they've been hot and heavy is truly an understatement. And the amount of PDA the couple is engaging in is truly shocking. A source said about the relationship, quote, "They have been close friends for years and have been dating for a couple months. Travis is very smitten with Kourtney and has been for a while. Apparently they've been friends for years and it recently turned romantic. But considering I never even knew who Travis Barker was until he started dating Kourtney, and now he is like literally everywhere I look, kinda makes me think there is some shadiness going on. Even more so because Travis has started working with a lot of TikTokers turned musicians, and it seems like he's looking to build their brands in any way that he can. And you know, maybe being with Kourtney is publicity for all that. I don't know, just something just feels off to me." And number 7, Scott Disick and Amelia Hamlin. Scott Disick has been raising eyebrows ever since he started dating yet another 19-year-old while he is in his 40s. After dating Sophia Richie, who was also a teenager when they met, Scott decided to enter into a relationship with Amelia Hamlin. And from the online reaction, it seems that many are concerned by this clear pattern. Even Amelia's mother, Lisa Rinna, has expressed concerns about their age gap on her reality show, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I know we say age is just a number, but I think it's safe to say that these two just have two very different lifestyles, and it would be difficult to imagine them actually staying together long term. And at number 6, Olivia Rodrigo and Adam Faze. After Olivia Rodrigo became a superstar for her relatable songs about heartbreak and jealousy in relationships, she stepped out with a new man, producer Adam Faze, who is reportedly 24 years old, while Rodrigo is 18. They went public in June of 2021, and it's been reported that they met through friends. But it seems that most of Olivia's fans are not on board with the relationship, and they think it's concerning that a 24-year-old wants to date a freshly 18-year-old Rodrigo. Anytime photos of the couple are leaked online, they are heavily scrutinized. And it seems that the vast majority do not support the coupling. And there is a potential that they'll break up simply because public sentiment is just so bad. Halfway number 5, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. This couple has a long and complicated history. They were together and even engaged many years ago, but Ben left her at the altar and they parted ways. However, after J-Lo's most recent relationship with Alex Rodriguez ended, Jen and Ben are now hanging out yet again. It seems that the two are officially back together. Fans have pointed out many issues in this relationship. Firstly, it seems they both just rebounded with each other, so it's not clear if they are healed from their last relationships yet. And it's hard to say if they've resolved the issues that made them break up in the first place many years ago. And at number 4, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. These two are so on and off, I honestly never know when they are actually together, but based on how rocky their relationship has been, I think I can guarantee that they will never actually be together, because it's impossible for Tristan to stay faithful to her. Tristan has cheated on Khloe numerous times. I think the current count is like 4 at the minimum. It seems that Khloe always gets swept up in his charm because she wants her daughter True to have Tristan in her life, and she's been open about wanting more kids with him so True can have siblings. But it seems that at this point, she should just cut the cord for good. And at number 3, Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. This couple have broken up and gotten back together so many times that fans were shocked when they actually got married. But even though they've been married for years, there still seems to be trouble in paradise. While the two have been together, it was rumored that Justin cheated on her with Olivia Munn and Mila Kunis. It was also rumored that Biel gave Timberlake a curfew after Scarlett Johansson got her divorce. I guess she was concerned that he might cheat with Scarlett. The source said, quote, "This is a set in stone rule, that Justin has to be home by midnight or call with a damn good excuse if he isn't." Adding, quote, "Their marriage is in a good place again now, but Jessica will never forget those years when he'd flirt behind her back and disrespect her in public. He's a kept man now, and she's the one wearing the pants." And even after all that, there were photos that recently leaked showing Timberlake getting cozy with co-star Alicia Wainwright. And at number 2, Donald and Melania Trump. During the entire election cycle and presidency, people were convinced that Melania hated every bit of it and was dying to leave her marriage. Many were even convinced that after Trump's stint in office, she would divorce him. At the time, a source said, quote, "Melania does not keep hidden from everyone around her how miserable she is. Melania wants as little to do with Donald as possible. She's not interested in Donald, the presidency, or anything involving him." Another source claimed that they even sleep in separate beds. The Trumps have always denied rumors that they are not happy, but from body language, it's clear that they are not head over heels, and a split definitely could be coming shortly. And finally, at number 1, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. These two have been stirring up relationship rumors ever since March of 2020, when they started filming an upcoming movie together, while Megan was on the rocks with her husband at the time, Brian Austin Green. After months of speculation, the two finally stepped out together and have been an item ever since. However, there are a lot of questions surrounding the relationship. A lot of people think it's a publicity stunt for the new movie that they're both starring in, and others think it was a PR move on Megan's part so she could get a lot of publicity for her, kind of rebrand back into the business. Whether it's real or not, the pair are getting a lot of publicity, which usually just isn't very good long term.
Starting off this countdown, we have Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. The history between these two is wild. They've been dating on and off for years. They started dating late 2015. They called it quits in March of 2018. 2 months later, they were spotted together again. In January of 2019, they announced that they broke up again. Zayn said that he had a lot of issues that Gigi just couldn't help him get through. A year later, it was announced that they were back together, and then they gave birth to their first child, Kai. A little while later, there was an incident between Zayn and Gigi's mom, Yolanda. She claims that he grabbed and shoved her into a dresser during a fight. She also claims that he yelled a number of profanities at her. She also said that Malik reportedly would yell at Gigi a number of times over the phone when he wasn't in the US. One thing he said on the phone to her was, I quote, "Strap on some effing balls and defend your partner against your effing mother in my house." Obviously, due to all this and more, Yolanda does not want Zayn in Gigi's life, let alone near Kai. So this whole thing is the definition of messy. In our 9th spot, we have Grimes and Elon Musk. After being together for 3 years, the pair called it quits in September of 2021. Apparently, this happened due to the fact that he was always traveling for his work at SpaceX and Tesla, whereas Grimes mainly works in LA. But apparently, for quite some time after their separation, Grimes and their baby were still living with Elon Musk. The two maintained that they were semi-separated but remained on good terms, which I don't think was always the case. Later, Grimes revealed that the two had gotten into an argument over their baby's name and fought days before she went into labor. Then in July, Musk tweeted out saying that pronouns suck, and Grimes did not like this at all. She replied, and I quote, "I love you, but please turn off your phone and give me a dial." She continued on saying, "I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." She quickly deleted this reply, and Musk unfollowed her the next day. Moving on to number 8, we have Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. TikTok stars Addison Rae and Bryce Hall called it quits in March 2021. The pair began their romance in November of 2020. It wasn't long for the two to call it quits after Bryce Hall was suspected of cheating on Addison, although Bryce denied any of the claims. But this eventually led to the pair unfollowing each other on Instagram. Despite Bryce claiming that all the cheating allegations were false, he said that it drastically impacted their relationship. He said, and I quote, "I'll be honest, I broke up with her because I was completely stressed out with it all. I paid so much in lawyer fees to get all this bullshit off my plate." And even though Addison found a way to trust him again, it still put a lot of strain on their relationship. In our 7th spot, we have Tana Mongeau and Mod Sun. Seems like Tana Mongeau broke girl code after going after her ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, Mod Sun. It's confusing, I know. She dated Bella Thorne, who dated Mod Sun previously, and apparently they were in like a polyamorous relationship. I don't really know, it's confusing. In 2019, Bella took to Twitter accusing Tana of breaking girl code. She never revealed what she did, but it seems like she was upset about Tana and Mod Sun dating. They kind of had a thing for a while, but stayed apart to avoid drama. Then Tana went on tour with Mod Sun just before the pandemic started. Shortly after, the two went to LA and quarantined together. Anyways, in August of 2021, in a podcast, Tana revealed why the pair broke up. And it wasn't because of the Bella drama. It was because of Tana's OnlyFans. In the podcast, she said, and I quote, The literal, actual reason we broke up, we were doing perfectly fine as a couple, literally perfectly fine. And then I wanted to start an OnlyFans, and he wasn't. He was not down for it. That was sincerely the reason. I am not shaming him for this because I think obviously, like, let's say I were to talk to him about it in an hour, let's say we sit down, I think he would have seen what it is and what it's become and become more accepting. But he was very much kind of, you're gonna become a star. And I was like, you've dated literal stars. So, yikes, that's all I gotta say to that one, yikes. In our 6th spot today, we have Aaron Carter and Melanie Martin. This is another very rocky relationship. The pair started dating in January of 2020, and it's been messy ever since. A week after welcoming their first child together, Aaron announced that they had split. In a tweet, he said, "Due to personal reasons, Melanie Martin and I have decided to go our separate ways." He continued on saying, and I quote, "There has been a very big lie, and my sister communicating with my ex-fiance ruined everything, considering she knew what Angel tried to do to me in court. Thanks, Angel, you ruined my family." So apparently Melanie was in talks with his estranged twin sister, Angel Carter, and he was not too happy about that. In another tweet, he said, and I quote, "I've never felt more devastated and betrayed and lied to in my entire life. This is such a horrible situation considering Prince doesn't deserve any of this, and now it's my job to just be a single father, and that's what's gonna happen." Not only that, but Carter posted on Instagram saying that he was trapped inside of his bedroom because Melanie wouldn't let him leave his house. In fact, because of everything that was going down, Child Protective Services actually showed up at their house. And of course, Carter had to go live on Instagram when they did. But then apparently a week later, the pair were back together, so I honestly don't know anymore. Are they still together? Are they broken up again? I don't know. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. Since 2016, Khloe and Tristan have been dating on and off. On June 21st of 2021, the pair called it off again. Now, many people would agree that their relationship isn't the best, and that's because Tristan has cheated on Khloe a number of times. Khloe even said that she has felt betrayed by him, but still continues to go back to him. And just this year, it was revealed that Tristan is the father to a 3rd child. He was dating Khloe at the time that his son was conceived. Like, come on, Khloe, you deserve so much better. In our 4th spot, we have John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler. After 6 years of marriage together, the couple announced on May 10th that they have split up. John's spokesperson said, and I quote, "John will not have any further comment as he continues to focus on his recovery and getting back to work." Meanwhile, Anna said, and I quote, "I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery." So it was John who decided to file for divorce. Later, it was revealed that the pair was going through a rough patch, while also experiencing irreconcilable differences in their marriage. Just months later, John got together with Olivia Munn. Fans were shocked at how fast he moved on. And only months into their new relationship, they announced that they were expecting their first child, which was shocking. Not only due to the fact how fast it all happened, but also because Mulaney has also made it clear that he didn't want kids. Moving on to number 3, we have Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo and A-Rod first met in 1999 when Alex was still playing baseball. Then again at a Yankees game in 2005, but at the time they were both married to other people. Eventually though, things fell into place and the pair began dating in 2017. 2 years later, in 2019, they got engaged. But in March of 2021, the pair split. According to J-Lo's friend that talked about their split, she said, and I quote, "J-Lo insisted on it. There are too many issues that are unresolved. She has been pretty miserable and didn't think it was in her best interest to stay with Alex." Then, only months later, rumors swirled about J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting back together. And now it's official. They are. Hashtag Bennifer for life. In our 2nd spot, we have Shia LaBeouf and Margaret Qualley. This pair started dating after starring in a music video together, Love Me Like You Hate Me. However, in January of 2021, the pair split after Shia got into legal troubles with his ex-girlfriend, FKA Twigs. They split just weeks after his ex filed a lawsuit against him. She accused him of sexual battery, assault, and emotional distress. Shia denied all the allegations, but Margaret did not want to be with a man accused of such. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Kim and Kanye. Of course, they had to make it to number 1 on today's list because Everything going on between them is wild. On January 5th, 2021, news broke that Kim and Kanye were ending their marriage, and on February 19th, 2021, Kim officially filed for divorce. The two have 4 children together, and that right now is causing a lot of drama. Apparently, Kim was keeping the kids away from Kanye. Kim wants full custody, but obviously Kanye wants joint custody. Kim says that Kanye is unstable, Kanye says that Kim's unstable. It's just really messy. And now it's even worse when you throw Pete Davidson into the mix. That's just adding more fuel to the fire. On June 10th, 2021, during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season finale, Kim said, and I quote, "After turning 40 this year, I realized, no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state. To me, I thought, oh my God, that's when we're getting along the best. But then, that is sad to me, and that's not what I want." Yikes, that's a hard thing to admit. And I feel like their situation is going to just keep getting messier before it gets better.
At number 10, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Before Angelina took over Hollywood, Bennifer was a thing. Actually, I don't know if they had a ship name, but if not, I just made one. You're welcome. Jennifer and Brad's romance story started in the 90s, meeting for the first time in 94, but going on their first date in 98. After 2 years of dating, the wedding of the year took place in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu because nothing says romance and everlasting love like standing on a cliff. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and Bennifer was no more. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of the cheating scandals, as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would bring this drama up from time to time, almost making it seem as though things aren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It seems as though Brad and Jen have reunited in 2020 as they are both now single, but I don't know if you can really call it a comeback from that heavily publicized breakup. At number 9, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. 2013 was a rough time for Twilight fans. Not only were they still heartbroken and mourning the death of their beloved vampiric saga, but they were also mourning the death of their OTPs, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Since the beginning of the Twilight franchise, fans were obsessed with Kristen and Rob's relationship, wishing that they would take their on-screen love into the real world. For years, the actors had shut down rumors that they were dating until 2011 when they finally confirmed that they were together. Fans were ecstatic and soon came speculations that a proposal was soon to come, but unfortunately that moment never came. In 2013, while working on the film Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen was caught cheating on Rob with the film's director, Rupert Sanders. Paparazzi had speculated that something was going on between them for a while, and so they finally got confirmations of this affair when the two were caught getting cozy together. When news of this scandal broke, it got crazy, and soon we saw statements from Rupert's wife, as well as news that Robert and Kristen had broken up officially. This ended with Kristen being labeled a homewrecker, and a lot of people still hate her for it. Rob's heartbreak was heavily publicized, and most people took his side, but really, I think their whole relationship was just a publicity stunt, and they needed a wild way to end it. But what do you guys think? Now, before I continue on with the video, please consider leaving a like on this video and check out my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you are looking for some more fun content as well. At number 8, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. By now, everyone and their mothers know about Johnny and Amber. Their relationship was highly publicized last year following their trial, but their initial breakup was also a messy ordeal, even though it happened nearly 5 years ago. Johnny and Amber first filed for divorce in 2016, but was finally finalized in 2017. Their divorce proceedings were quite the scandal, as Amber made the accusation that Johnny had been abusive towards her, though now we all know that that was a big ol' ball of BS. In their divorce settlement, Amber was awarded $7 million to be paid by Johnny, and Amber claimed that she would be donating the money to 2 charities, which also turned out to be a lie. And they went their separate ways as Johnny kept their properties and cars. The biggest story to come out of this breakup was the bombshell of Johnny's treatment of his wife. Johnny lost a lot of work because of her claims, and his name was pretty much ruined because of it. Fast forward to 2020, and the drama continues, making this one of the messiest breakups ever. At number 7, Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. Now, obviously, we couldn't make a list talking about the messiest breakups without including Taylor Swift. I mean, she's built her entire career on breakup songs, and you obviously can't have the breakup song without the breakup. Arguably, one of Taylor's messiest breakups was with DJ Calvin Harris, and though it didn't end up with a lot of upfront hostility, there was a lot of shade, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of drama. After a brief relationship, Taylor and Calvin broke up in 2016, and when news broke of their split, it was was speculated that they broke up because their spark had fizzled out and that things just weren't working out for them. No hostility and no drama, they just fell out of love. Things were fine until Taylor went public with her new relationship with Marvel actor Tom Hiddleston a little over 2 weeks after breaking up with Calvin. This started to stir drama because some fans as well as some news sources believed that Taylor was only dating Tom to make Calvin jealous. Tom and Taylor was seen traveling together and meeting Taylor's parents. Meanwhile, Calvin was being bombarded by paparazzi asking about his take on this new relationship. Things escalated into the music world as reports came out involving Rihanna into Taylor and Calvin's relationship troubles, and Calvin even alleged that Taylor was still texting him weeks after they were over. This breakup was unnecessarily messy, but it made for some good music content for Taylor. At number 6, Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. Another complicated relationship here, this time with former One Direction member Zayn Malik and Little Mix member Perry Edwards. After meeting in 2011, dating in 2012, and getting engaged in 2013, Zayn and Perry's perfect world came crumbling down in 2015 after a dramatic and messy public breakup. When news broke of their split, fans just had to know why. These two were loved by so many fans, and for them to suddenly call it quits, people wanted to know what was going on. It was alleged that Zayn broke up with Perry over text, but I don't know if that was really true or not. About a week after initial reports of their split, fans learned that the couple's home was put on the market, and that apparently Zayn had asked Perry to move out of their house shortly after their breakup. Perry was having a hard time with the sudden split, even breaking down in tears on stage at one of her girl group's concerts. Meanwhile, news outlets were reporting on Zayn's parties at his Bel Air mansion. The media as well as fans were divided in choosing sides. Perry was being shown as the blindsided and broken one, while Zayn was being seen as aloof and cold. Not too long after the breakup, Zayn was seen hanging around model Gigi Hadid, and it was thought that Zayn had left Perry for Gigi. Eventually, things sort of died down between Perry and Zayn, with the two subtly shading each other every once in a while. At number 5, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley and Liam's relationship was certainly complicated. They were on and off for 10 years before ending things in 2019, and even then, their divorce was messy. Miley and Liam got married in December 2018, but after 8 months of marriage, they confirmed their split and filed for divorce. What made things messy was Miley's unexpected and sudden relationship with Caitlyn Carter. Miley and Caitlyn took a trip together after their respective relationships had ended and entered into a new romantic relationship with each other. A lot of people speculated that Miley had cheated on Liam with Caitlyn and that it was the reason why she left him, but Miley denied those allegations. Liam and Caitlyn's ex Brody Jenner were seen shading their exes for moving on like this, but eventually things cooled off. Miley and Liam's divorce was finalized in January 2020, and apparently it was a very hard time for Miley, as she referred to the divorce as death because it was so big and so public. At number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. This is another one of those relationships that are just hard to map out because they're so all over the place and complicated. Much like Miley and Liam, Selena and Justin were on and off throughout the years, and so their breakup was just as messy because it spanned over a long time. It's almost as though they broke up in stages before finally calling it quits for good. Really, there is no official ending to their relationship because things were always up in the air. They would break up, and then the possibility of them getting back together was always there. Even when the two of them got into new relationships, things would always somehow come back to the two of them. Justin allegedly got into a fight with one of Selena's boyfriends because he still had feelings for her, and Selena would always be asked about Justin even if they weren't together. The time they spent in the news between relationships pretty much serves as their big messy breakup because, like I said before, it spanned for such a long time, it's like it was broken into phases like the MCU. I guess things officially ended for Angelina when Justin married Hailey Baldwin, and let's hope it stays that way because no one needs that toxic energy again. At number 3, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt doesn't seem to have much luck with his relationships because he has another messy breakup, but this time with Angelina Jolie. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Brad and Angelina met while Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston, and Angie sort of replaced Jen. Though there was initially some bad blood, things died down and Brangelina was born. Brad and Angie spent 10 years together, adopting a bunch of children and living a seemingly picture-perfect Hollywood life. The two got married in 2014, but just 2 years into their marriage, they got divorced. This breakup was intense and messy, and entertainment news sources were all over this story. Soon, cheating rumors started circulating, and later the matter of the children's custody fanned the flame. During their divorce proceedings, Brad's parenting came into question as allegations were made against him that questioned their kid's situation in Brad's care. Apparently, news came out about Angie's reason for ending their decade-long relationship with Brad, citing that he had gotten into a fight with their oldest child, Maddox, which prompted Angie to reevaluate their relationship. It was tumultuous and messy, but it seems as though they're both living their lives safely and separately at this time. At number 2, Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Ariana and Pete's relationship took people by surprise. It was short and intense, and the breakup was messy too. The two started dating in May of 2018, and by late June, they were engaged. They fell for each other so quickly moving in together and planning their lives together as well. But things ended as quickly as they began, and by October, they were done. After getting tattoos dedicated to each other, they were quickly covered up, and soon the shade began. Shortly after the news of their breakup was broadcast, Pete poked fun at his failed relationship in a comedy set, and Ariana then moved on to subtweeting her ex for shading her. And she even included a reference to their relationship in her song Thank You Next. There was some back and forth shading and dissing each other in more jokes and music, but that all seems to be over now. Ariana is now engaged to someone else, and everyone seems to be moving on now. And finally, at number 1, Khloe and Tristan's relationship absolutely exploded in the media because of cheating and backstabbing and just so much drama. Basically, this whole ordeal revolved around Khloe, Tristan, and Kylie Jenner's BFF, Jordyn Woods. Tristan cheated on Khloe multiple times during her pregnancy, including a few times with Jordyn Woods, who had been a family friend for years. When news of Tristan's infidelity broke, the internet went nuts, and so did the Kardashian Jenner family. Khloe and Tristan ended up breaking up, and the family also broke up with Jordyn after she backstabbed the family. Kylie weighed in on this scandal, saying how heartbroken she was to find out that her best friend betrayed her like that. The breakup was also talked about on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe's sisters, Kim and Kourtney, came to her side and seriously wanted to fight Tristan. Their relationship has been rocky ever since, as Khloe only keeps him in her life for her daughter's sake.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx. This one is still pretty fresh, so if you're a fan, then it probably stings a little bit for you still. They dated for 6 years and recently called it quits before summer in May 2019. There have been a variety of different stories and versions as to why they actually broke up, but a close source to them told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "They lived separately and in different cities and saw each other occasionally. They just both got caught up with their own families, careers, and obligations that the relationship had to take a back seat." But not long after the breakup, the pot was stirred after images surfaced of Fox partying up with some other woman. It all started when he was spotted leaving a nightclub hand in hand with Celavave. Katie has not commented on it, but Jamie took it to social media and did a live stream video where he stuck up for himself, saying that because they are no longer together, he can do what he wants. It was then made into a permanent post on Instagram with the caption, "For the people who care, here is the true story. For everyone else, you can keep talking and calling me a whore, slut, homewrecker, thought, gold digger, and that I should die, and whatever else you want. Because it doesn't matter to me, I am out here to work and do what I love most. Hashtag kill the double standard." This is some seriously hot tea. That was just last week, so I have no further updates for you guys. Not yet, anyways. At number 9 is Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. Fans were speculating for months whether these two were dating or not until they confirmed it back in January 2016. But they didn't just casually say they were dating. They confirmed their relationship when Zayn dropped his music video for his single Pillow Talk and had Gigi getting all hot and heavy with him throughout it. After the video dropped, they then went on Twitter and publicly gushed about how the other one looked so hot in the video. But then they shattered the hearts of all their fans when they broke up 2 years later. They announced these long, heartfelt statements in March 2018, expressing that they still love and respect each other, but as friends. However, since then, they've kind of been all over the place. They got back together, broke up, and then got back together again. However, just a few weeks ago, it was reported that they broke up once again after Gigi was spotted spending alone time with Bachelorette's alum Tyler Cameron. So this breakup wasn't really as shocking as the first time around. Sweeping our number 8 spot is Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. The couple made headlines on multiple occasions for reasons that no couple actually wants to. They started dating back in 2016, and only 1 year later it was announced that they were expecting a child together. They seemed to have a fairy tale relationship, but then just a few days before Khloe's due date, Tristan was caught cheating on camera with a girl at a bar in Manhattan. Days before she was going into labor. That news alone would probably make me go into immediate labor. Despite the heat and backlash he faced for cheating, Khloe decided to stay with him and work things out. Things seemed to be going better for the pair until once again, hit the fan. Worse this time. Another cheating scandal surfaced of Tristan with another girl, but not just any girl, Kylie Jenner's best friend, Jordyn Woods. For those who may not know, Kylie Jenner is Khloe's younger sister, so Jordyn was basically a little sister to Khloe and hooking up with her baby daddy. Messed up. Just a few days ago, it was reported that he bought her a $400,000 Porsche as an attempt to win her back. I wish my exes would buy me a Porsche as a way to apologize. Coming into spot number 7 is Brie Larson and Alex Greenwald. They are one of the more quiet couples in Hollywood, meaning that they just stay out of the drama and scandals. They dated for several years before getting engaged back in 2016. Their wedding didn't come quickly though. They've actually been engaged ever since, until more recently when it was announced that they split. Back in January of this year, 2019, it was reported that they called off their engagement. Source came forward saying they have taken a step back from their engagement for the time being, but they remain close. It comes as a complete shock for fans because they seem like the perfect couple. Brie has often bragged about her man being her biggest supporter. She told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "He's the other half of the equation. How can you explain support? I mean, it goes beyond anything. He's just my person. He's my best friend." There hasn't been any reasons or juicy scandals in regards to why they split, so many fans are left wondering what really happened. In at number 6 is Fergie and Josh Duhamel. They started dating back in 2004 and dated for a few years before getting engaged in 2007. They ended up tying the knot in early 2009 before becoming parents to their son Axel, which seemed like the picture-perfect family ended in September 2017 after they publicly announced their separation. Fans were shocked when they decided to call it quits after 8 years of marriage. They shared a public statement saying, "With absolute love and respect, we decided to separate as a couple earlier this year. To give our family the best opportunity to adjust, we wanted to keep this private matter before sharing it with the public. We are and will always be united in our support of each other and our family." It wasn't until this year in May 2019 that Fergie officially filed for divorce after 2 years of being separated. Fergie's rep had no comment on the divorce, and Josh's rep did not respond to their request for comment. Halfway through the list, number 5 is Skylar Astin and Anna Camp. This one makes me sad. I love them together. You would really only know who they are if you were a fan of the Pitch Perfect movie series because they starred together in it. The co-stars started dating in June 2013 and they got hitched in October 2016 at a beautiful outdoor ceremony on the Central California coast. Their split was a complete shock for people because they seemed to just have this unbreakable bond. Anna spoke about him to People magazine saying, "Knowing that I have my best friend and that we are totally committed to one another, and just to have that comfort and that safety and that bond where you know you found your person." Ugh, my heart. But after 2.5 years of marriage, in April of this year, 2019, they released a joint statement saying, "We can confirm that we have decided to separate, and this decision was made mutually and amicably. We kindly ask for privacy as we navigate this transition." They have both since unfollowed each other on social media. Up next at number 4 is Bella Hadid and The Weeknd. They first got together back in 2015 after they spent a weekend together at Coachella. Must have been a nice romantic getaway because they continued to date for over a year. From the outside looking in, they were a strong couple in Hollywood. People were surprised when reports started to surface saying they split in November 2016. The reasoning for the split was said to be because of their schedules and that they were both focusing on their work. May we never forget that iconic moment 2 weeks after their breakup when Bella walked the Victoria's Secret fashion show and he was the onstage performer. That is one way to run into your ex. Or should I say runway into your ex. Get it? Anyways, then in January of 2017, we saw pictures of The Weeknd with Selena Gomez making out, and shortly later it was confirmed that they were then dating. From that moment on, Bella started shooting the middle finger to media outlets that asked her about the new couple, but the whole angry phase didn't last very long and they got back together once he and Selena split. But once again, as of a few weeks ago, they split up again. It's just getting hard to keep up with them. The first breakup was shocking, but like now people are just used to it. Alright guys, at number 3 is Bradley Cooper and Arena Shayk. After months of tabloid speculation, their 4-year relationship was confirmed to be at a dead end. A source told E! News they want to stay together for their daughter, but neither of them are very happy. Rumors were getting out of control as to why they split. Many fans were saying Bradley had an affair with his A Star Is Born co-star, Lady Gaga. But there has been no evidence to back up this claim, and every party involved, including Arena, deny the rumor. The two of them are now co-parenting their 2-year-old daughter, but still have no comments regarding their split. Unfortunately, this leaves a lot of room for speculation. In spot number 2 is Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter. After pictures surfaced of Miley Cyrus making out with Caitlyn Carter after her split from Liam Hemsworth, people started to focus on Caitlyn's relationship with Brody. They first met at a party back in 2013 and they soon began dating. On May 4th, 2016, they announced their engagement, which lasted 2 years before getting married on June 2nd, 2018. They ended up getting married in Indonesia at the same resort they got engaged at. Always peaches and cream it seemed like, but they called it quits in early August of 2019, just weeks before Caitlyn was in Italy kissing Miley. But the MTV show that Brody stars on, The Hills, is airing right now and revealed that the couple was struggling for a while. In the episodes, we can see that the couple actually has a open relationship, and the other cast members are basically questioning Caitlyn if their marriage is going to work. Their co-star Ashley Waller spilled the tea on their relationship and said, "I've had a lot of conversations with Caitlyn during the season, and her and Miley and Liam and Brody would always hang out together. So I know they've been friends for a long time. I think everyone in the cast knew that it was not going to work out." I mean, an open relationship, marriage. not gonna work. Taking the #1 spot on our list is Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Their relationship starting was more shocking than the relationship ending, if I'm being honest. They met each other back in 2016 when she made a guest appearance on Saturday Night Live. They started to date down the road in May 2018 and confirmed it by posting a Harry Potter theme picture together with the caption, "You tryna slither in." Only true Harry Potter fans will understand Ariana's joke. Only 1 month into dating, on June 12, 2018, they get engaged. We all thought that it was fake news because there was no way it was real, but it actually was. Wedding plans were in the talks and the couple moved in together and bought a pet pig. But only 5 months later, they broke up and called off the engagement. Obviously. And as we know it, a month later she released her single called Thank You Next, which references all of her ex-boyfriends, including Pete. In the song she says, "Even almost got married, and for Pete I'm so thankful." In the music video we see a picture of her and him, and above it she wrote, "Sorry I dipped." So I guess it's safe to say that she was the one who pulled the plug.